We got desserts to try now. I knew we wouldn't be doing any club activities after school today before Mion even said anything. I'd been invited over by Shion for an all-you-can-eat dessert. I wonder... I'm just wondering, like, if they are separate people, then if... Like, what if they use this as the way to show that they are separate people? That'll be interesting. Anyway. I made a point of leaving half my lunch uneaten. My expectations would only be rivaled by my hunger.
Keiichi-kun, you seem kind of happy today. Did something good happen? Did it?
I guess it was obvious. Rena had questioned me with a happy look. That's right. Why don't I invite Rena for dessert as well? Now, if I recall correctly, Shion said something about having a ticket. At worst, the restaurant might be admission by ticket only today. Or ticket only today. Proper emphasis matters. If that was the case, then having Rena be turned away at the door would result in the worst feeling ever. Yeah, I got a little lucky. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. Rena, you'll definitely be jealous.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is it? What is it? I'm jealous. She's already jealous! This lucky thing. Is it cute? Is it?
Cute? I wonder what Rena would think of the uniforms at Angel Mott. They'd definitely be a critical hit. Probably. It's probably pretty cute.
Well, I'm jelly. What is it? What is it?
What kind of fortune were you blessed with? Huh? Could it be you participated in the draw at Angel Mort about 2 months ago and won? Hey, now I haven't even transferred here 2 months ago. Oh, that's right. Then it's not the Angel's Dessert Fiesta then.
Mi-chan, what is the Angel's Dessert
Festa? I thought it was Fiesta, because I've never seen those letters without the I.
Mi-chan, what's the Angel's Desert Fiesta exactly, and did you mean Festa?
Yes, I meant Festa. You know, there's that family restaurant called Angel Mort's right by Okinomiya Station. Every season, they hold an event to promote their new dessert menu. That's today. Oh, it's no use going. The restaurant is reserved for people who won the draw. Mion explained once again what Shion explained to me last night.
Rena will have to stop by the restaurant sometime. I'll do my best to draw a winning ticket and aim to enter the next all-you-can-eat event.
Knock yourself out. By the way, this is just something I heard, but there's a rumor that the tickets are being sold on the black market for a pretty penny. Hearing that story, I felt even more appreciative of the ticket that Shion had procured for me. I just thought I was lucky to be able to eat dessert for free, but turns out that ticket was much more valuable. The number of things I had to thank Shion for had increased again. Thanks. I didn't know it was worth so much. I whispered in a voice only Mion could hear. That was how I conveyed my feelings. Mion looked at me for a moment before she tilted her head to the side and smiled confusedly. What? Did you say something? It would be a problem if you said something to me right now. That smile seemed to be telling me as much. Or is it? I don't know. Like, it's the fact that it could be either way. This is actually really good writing to make you wonder, like, is he being dumb? Or are we being dumb by questioning him? Who is the right one here? Is she, like, saying, did you say something? Because she's like, what are you talking about? Or did you say something to play along? Like, they're doing a good job hiding it. Like, hiding the truth. Like, I want to know. Can you show me? Anyway. I guess Mion wouldn't be accepting any gratitude while she was Mion. I'll go to the restaurant. Today, I'll thank Mion while she's Shion. Well then, this old man will take his leave here. The work today is gonna be a little rough. Later! And just... Yeah, it's like, is she really working at one of her myriad of uncle's places? Or is she actually Shion? Who the fuck knows? Oh my god. Mion waved her hand energetically as she left.
Hey, Keiichi-kun. Mei-chan has been kind of weird lately. Like, she's elated or something.
What? You think so? Rena was pretty sharp when it came to these types of things. To me, Mion seemed the same as always, but Rena apparently felt something different.
You don't know, Keiichi-kun? I totally thought you knew.
Rena's skirt fluttered as she spun around with a coy smile. No, what, exactly? I was obviously weaseling my way out of the question, but I wasn't lying. Honestly, I didn't really know what was going on. Why did Shion, a persona of Mion that she'd created, appear before me? Something was blatantly up, but Rena paid it no heed.
Oh, really? I wonder what it is then. When Mei-chan is in a good mood, so is Rena. Ah.
Saying that, she spread her arms wide and spun around happily. I didn't know why, but Rena was in a really good mood. It was so infectious that I had to smile too. She literally just said why she's in a good mood. It's because Mion is in a good mood. Even the chirping of the cicadas seemed joyful. Cute cicadas? Yep.
But, you see...
Rena abruptly stopped spinning. Her expression... Sorry, I should have paused there. Rena abruptly stopped spinning. Her expression had returned to a more somber one.
You see, Mei-chan, lately, she's been in a lot of pain.
What do you mean? Pain? Is the ominous stuff starting to kick in now? The pain that Rena was talking about probably wasn't physical.
At first she tried to pretend it wasn't a big deal, but like a wound, it began to fester. Fester and grow. Eventually she was no longer able to bear the pain and woke up in the middle of the night. And then she phoned Rena. Mei-chan was crying.
I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? Huh? What is Rena talking about? What?
What? Rena? Hey, don't play dumb like that. Just now, you said...
I don't know. Rena doesn't know anything. Bye!
I guess. Rena spun as she laughed innocently. Eventually, she appeared to get sick, stumbling as she steadied herself with her hand against the wall. Yeah, probably got dizzy.
The room is spinning.
That was dumb. That's what you get for getting carried away and spinning like that.
Sorry. I think I feel sick.
I'll lend the ditz a shoulder to lean on. To be stumbling around like a newborn foal at this age is actually quite a feat. Rena, in a good mood, only babbled incoherently after that. I laughed as I responded and chided her. Oh, pardon? However, the chance to revisit that heavy topic Rena had brought up before never arrived. Of course, she was probably like, I shouldn't have said anything. I am cutting off all chances for you to ask about it. It was supposed to be secret and I fucked up. And now we have the friend doubt. The friend doubt has returned. Well, more blatant friend doubt than the whole Mion Shion thing, I suppose. As soon as I got home, I tossed aside my school bag and changed in a hurry. The effects of only having a light lunch were starting to show, as my stomach began to let out fickle growls. Alright, let's go. To Angel Mort. I'm hoping I'm saying it right. It's time to face the land of endless desserts. Preparations for battle are complete. Tally-ho! Oh boy, we got fun time music. We got competition music, I guess. Time to get pumped. Angel Mort's had a decidedly different feel to it compared to yesterday. Dessert Festa today. Admittance by reservation only. Nonetheless, the front of the store was being swarmed by over a dozen young men. Judging by how they were looking upwards in jealousy instead of entering the store, they weren't invitees. Why would they gather here if they knew they couldn't get in? Just hoping for a glimpse. I found out the answer when I passed through the crowd and began to climb the steps to enter the restaurant. Are you a participant? Do you have a ticket? Oh. Yeah? Well, I was lucky. As soon as I said that, I was immediately mobbed. It was like being in the middle of a football scrum on a crowded train. What is going on? The reason was this. It wasn't just one ticket per person. One ticket could let up to 4 people inside. Oh, time to invite the friendos. So, it's like that, huh? Seems like I should have invited Ren and the others. Thanks for the tip. But I'll pretend I didn't hear that. With an uplifting smile, I turned and ignored them. When I did, the arms all reached out at once, like the souls of the damned seeking succor. That ticket can admit up to 4 people. Please bring us with you. What selfish people. Says the guy who doesn't call up his friends as soon as he finds out that they can all come. This was the only reason they were crowded in front of the restaurant. Dozens of wretched arms reached out for me like teeth on a giant rake and grasped at the air. I was already climbing the stairs to the entrance. What a heartless dick! Grab him! This isn't something to joke about. I flew up the rest of the stairs and threw myself inside the restaurant. It was like I had entered a different world. The miserable throng of the damned hurled curses at me from the other side of the glass door. But inside of this completely soundproofed and air-conditioned restaurant, with the angelic smile of a waitress to welcome me, they were nothing more than a refreshing piece of scenery. Just as they're like frothing at the mouth and like flipping you off or clawing at the door like a horde of zombies. And it's like, ah, yes, refreshing scenery. Look at those plebs, or whatever. I knew that I shouldn't laugh, but I began to let out a sinister cackle. Good afternoon. Welcome to Angel Mort's. Due to today's dessert festa, the restaurant is reserved for customers who won the draw. Could I ask for your name and ticket? I don't have a ticket, but I should be on the guest list. Maibara? Maibara. There it is. I'm sorry, but may I please have your full name? Keiichi. Keiichi Maibara. My apologies for the inconvenience. You're here by special invitation, right? I'll show you to your seat. Please, this way. The mood inside the room was incredibly heated. I will just say I find it interesting that she asked for full name, because what if his dad actually won a draw and is here too? Anyway, the mood inside the room was incredibly heated. Whether I'm right or wrong, I don't care. It's just interesting thing to note. Anyway. The booths were packed to the brim. Men in their prime were stuffing their faces with dainty desserts that didn't suit them at all. It's a rather unnerving spectacle. Dude, real men enjoy what they enjoy without worrying about what society thinks of them. Anyway. Soon after I was shown to my seat, Shion arrived. There you are. I forgot just how... Anyway. Good afternoon. Welcome to Angel Mort. Hey, Shion. Thanks so much for today. I really appreciate it. You were a bit late, so I was getting worried. I'm really happy you came, though. It may have been because other customers were around that her tone was less casual, but she still capped off that welcome with her usual brilliant smile. As you can see, there's a lot of customers here today. I'm not sure I'll be able to take a break. Please, take your time and relax until I'm finished. When I'm done, let's go play somewhere, okay? Tease. Whispering just that last part into my ear, Shion winked and returned to the kitchen. Maybe it was because the mood in the restaurant was so heated, but Shion seemed a bit bolder. Even a small change in her mannerisms was enough to set my heart aflutter. Sorry to keep you waiting. While I was overwhelmed by the atmosphere inside the restaurant, orders from the new summer menu were carried out one after another. Every single one was extravagantly huge. I get it, you can eat all of these amazing things for free. No wonder a ticket was worth its weight in gold. On top of that, all of it was plenty delicious. From dishes with a general appeal to insane ones aimed at a specific audience. I'm curious to know what that means. There were absolutely no gaps in their repertoire. No matter how you look at it, I don't think one person can eat this much. Well, let's just leave it at that for now. It didn't feel relaxing in here at all. Probably because the fervor inside the restaurants was clearly abnormal. All the other booth seats were crammed with groups of 4. Sleazy men were gorging like pigs on cutely decorated desserts, and it wouldn't have been a surprise if they started licking the plates. It was more than a little unsettling. Sorry, I spaced out and lost my place. It piqued my interest, so I started listening in on their conversation, and what things I heard! Woo! Angel Motomo. Me? I bought my ticket for 70,000 on redacted auctions. Alright, just to be sure, I want to say that's like roughly $700, but let me be double sure on that. Let's see. Yen to... for me, USD. Let's see. So he said 70,000. Okay, so currently, okay, so what it's telling me for currently, because it could be different due to, like, you know, money cost fluctuations or inflations or whatever. I was way off. Apparently, that is roughly $465. Which is way, way more than I expect anybody to ever spend for this sort of situation. That's like... that's bill money right there. Anyway. That's if that converter was correct. Hold on. Let me actually be double sure. Hold on. Hold on. I just want to be double sure. Yeah, let's see. 1 Japanese yen. I mean, I suppose it would depend on year, but oh my god, they really took a dip in value a while back. Looking at the Google spreadsheet, Google Analytics here. Yeah, 1 Japanese yen equals 0.0067 United States dollar currently. USD. Let me see. What about the 1980s? Because that's when this game is taking place. Yen in the early 80s. According to Wikipedia, the average value of the yen actually dropped to 1985. I think that's closer to the year we're in at this game. 239 per US dollar. So at one point, it was okay. The rise in the current account. Okay, so let's see, 239. Okay, so okay, can I reverse that? Can I reverse that? Let's see, United States dollar to Japanese yen. Currently, the equivalent is about $1 equals 150 Japanese yen. 0.29 to be precise. So it's gone down in value a bit. Up in value? I don't know how you consider, like, the equivalence here. Anyway, I guess that would be going up in value. Since it's getting closer to the 1-to-1 ratio versus before. But anyway, back in the 80s. Gosh. Anyway, that's still a shit ton of fucking money. Anyway, I told work that I was attending a relative's funeral, but for this? Damn. The uniforms here are the greatest. Bunch of fucking gooners over here. I wonder if the waitress would wipe it for me if I spilled some water on my pants. Write me out. Write me out. Shut the fuck. No. Stop. I heard they're planning on selling Angel Moore's figures. I'm pretty sure they already do, at least for Shion/Mion. We'll have to pay heed at the next event. Speaking of which, that major figure maker decided to bring out the line. We must confirm the release date. The problem is, there's too many variations to bulk buy them. If it were just a normal set of family restaurant uniforms, there'd only be around 10 types, but including the secret set with the different poses that are planned, there's about 100 or so. Someone trade with me when I get a double. It's my duty as a fan to complete the collection right away. No, this is destiny between us. Oh my god. Nah, it still feels like current fandom culture in a sense. Anyway, at least that part did. Picturing it as, like, in-universe, it's like, we're talking about, like, a real restaurant and real waitresses in this case, though, so, no, creepy. Anyway. The words spilling out of their mouths were pretty much all incomprehensible jargon. But they still keenly conveyed that hidden behind them was an invisible aura of abnormality. Sorry to keep you waiting. The next dessert is Tropical Cinnamon Love Affair. Whoa. Is something the matter? No. It's just... It's kind of different inside the restaurant today. Our restaurant is pretty famous in their circles. Well, we were aiming for that, so it's all well and good. But during festas, there's something of the more hardcore crowd, so it can be a handful. The waitress informs me quietly with a wry smile. The customers seem rather riled up, almost like a pack of hyenas. It seems a lot of the customers today came from unreasonably far away. Those types of people are fairly prone to losing their self-control, so it's a little scary. I don't know who's saying what. If you don't keep your guard up, something bad can happen. She said that. Okay. What did she mean by keep your guard up? That was louder than I was expecting. At that moment, a large crash resounded through the room. I turned around startled to see that a waitress had fallen down and spilled the order she was carrying right onto a customer. Wait, isn't that Shion? Oh no. I'm so sorry. Your food is, Oh, what have you done? The jeans that I bought at a certain specialty shop for a whole, fucking Christ. You know, these folks need Jesus. Goddamn. I don't even know if Jesus can save them. For a whole 1,800 yen, we're all sticky with sticky? All sticky with frosting, pant. What the hell is that? That's a... Gooner. This is Gooner. This is Gooner shit. For somebody who just met with disaster, he seems awfully happy. Sir, there are shards of glass in your arm, but the frosting all sticky on the pants. How tragic. It seems that little Miss Waitress here will have to wipey it up from the bottom of her heart. Fucking creep. The conversation suddenly veered off in an odd direction that we knew was coming. What did he say? Wipey? Did he want Shion to wipe it? Sir! Keiichi, please. You should not be this slow to pick up what's going on. Right over that obviously aberrant tent he had oh my lord. Sir, this is a high schooler! I'm pretty sure. Actually, yeah, they would be. If this is me on, then yes, a high schooler. Or this person still goes to I was gonna say still goes to grade school, but that could make it work. That would actually make it better to make him leave her alone. No. Whatever. This guy's gonna be a fucking loser. All right.
But that is,
Wipey wipe. Shut the fuck up. The wipey wipey chant quickly spread throughout the room. They all want this guy to get wiped. Instead of being jealous. Oh my lord. Help. I hate men. Totally cornered, Shion went pale. She looked over to a more experienced waitress for help, but was only met with a shaking head out of pity. I don't remember if Mion is actually 18 or not, but regardless, it's like this is still awkward to leave a minor in this situation. You experienced waitress, help her. Sonozaki-san was tripped. I knew that would be the case. Customers who do that to purposely get their clothes dirty have been on the rise lately. So you're saying she was tripped? That's literally what I just said, yes. Then what happened just now? Wasn't an accident? It was on purpose? Yes. The regular girls are careful about it, so they definitely won't end up like that. But Sonozaki-san is only a seasonal hire, so she had her guard down. The customers today could easily pick up on that, so she's been targeted since this morning. I'm pretty sure she's a minor, you fucking freaks! What's the manager doing? He should just kick those thugs out. Yep. We're in the service industry, so there's not much we can do about it. Yep, you just gotta smile and wave, unless they... Well, unless, like, you know, except for certain extreme circumstances, but in this case, oh my god. She laughed as she said that in a resigned tone. Shion trembled uncontrollably with the dishcloth in her hands as she turned bright red. The men who had been doused in frosting splayed out on the— You're manspreading now? Jesus Christ! Putting the cream-covered tent over his crotch on full display, you— Not even Jesus can save you! You just need to be smoked! Still mentally unprepared, her trembling hand inched forward, goaded on by onlook— Oh, honey, stop. No, stop. Stop. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. From my male point of view, it might have been a ridiculous spectacle I could just smile wryly at, but from a woman's point of view, or a sane person's point of view, this was obviously pure humiliation. Okay, yeah, I was like, hold on, we got the creepy music kicking in. When I was trapped by those thugs and had been paralyzed with fear, Shion fearlessly stood up to them and saved me. Still, as humiliating as it was, Shion was also partly to blame for this. And it wasn't as though her life was at stake, right? How was she partly at blame? She's a seasonal hire who's not as experienced, and they took advantage of that. That's bro, you're victim blaming. Fucking men. Even these guys, they were just going to jeer at her in a bit of a lewd situation. This is not a lewd situation. This is more, yes, it's lewd, but it's calling it lewd is downplaying it to a disgusting degree. It's not like they were going to eat Shion alive or anything. It'd be alright if I just consult her after— No. Listen. If I can level with y'all. Okay? If I can level with y'all. Especially if you are a man or identify as male. Whatever it is. Whatever you do, if you see this shit, you call it the fuck out when you see it. You gotta let them know that's not okay. You do not just sit by on the sidelines and be like, I will console her later. No, you see this level of humiliation happening to anybody, especially a woman, to a group of men, you stand up and say something. And I really hope that's what Keiichi's gonna do. Because otherwise you're just propagating the bullshit, so. And that's why shit like this would continue to happen. What we need is more men to call out the bullshit. So call out the bullshit. Anyway. You better correct yourself, Keiichi.
Even I was scared. But Kei-chan was in trouble, so I had to be brave and do my best.
When I, a man, was being assailed by 3 thugs while paralyzed with fear, Shion saved me without a second thought. What about now? These sleazy, filthy degenerates were trying to pin the blame on Shion. This time our roles were reversed. Yes, yes, you're connecting the dots. Connect them faster. Act faster. Hey, Keiichi Maibara. If you don't save her now, when will you be able to repay the debt you owe her? You scared, Keiichi Maibara? At that time, Shion, no, Mion, didn't even show a hint of hesitation. Then what about now? I'm not hesitating. Yes, you are. Then what? If you're not hesitating, then why aren't you helping her? I'm not saying that. I'm not laughing. Shut up, you greasy... There you fucking go! Shut up, you greasy fat ass! Get out of here before I get angry. I mean, I'm already angry, but... You know what I mean. I grasped Shion's shoulder firmly and pulled her behind me. Kei-chan? Yonder waitress was the one who wet mine pants. What? The one who needs punishing is you. Enough with the empty words. If you're a man, talk with your Okay, that's more than I was expecting. Sound effects. My body was lifted into the air like nothing. I was thrown right back into my own seat. This guy is strong? No matter how you look at it, Athletic and this Lardo aren't even in the same area. Okay, come on, dude. Lardo? Really? Really? We're gonna... Keiichi, are we serious? I mean, this is the 80s, but come on, fat shaming? Really? Aren't even in the same area code, though. I kind of like that. Many otaku are unexpectedly well-versed in some obscure martial art. Really? Don't be misunderestimated. What? Guys, I was just praising you for having better grammar. I mean, is misunderestimating an actual word? I could be wrong here. However, I do not recall ever seeing it. And I know you could say underestimating properly, but anyway, I was just praising you while playing Zenless Zone Zero for having better writing, and then you go and do this to me? Come on, come on. Anyway. Don't be underestimating us. The man smirked, showing off his gum line. I thought he said gun line. Yeah, oh, you make fun of yourself. Kei-chan, are you okay? Damn it, how lame must I look at- You look awesome for actually standing up to him! When nobody else would! You were tripped, weren't you, Shion? They're the ones in the wrong here, so don't let them take advantage of you.
That may be, but it was still my fault.
No, it wasn't. One more time. Let's do- No. What? Do what? Don't you go thinking that this is enough to make me give up. One more time. Or is this the otaku speaking? The quote-unquote otaku? Oh, you're all talk. I'm not done yet. Okay, they're fighting. Rise my will to fight. Fight power noise, I guess. Not just running. I planted every one of my steps firmly as I closed the distance to the big guy. Fuck fat phobia. Each time I ripped my foot off the floor, ripped my foot off the floor. Damn, that's definitely paints an image. I could feel my burning spirit flare up from the point of impact. And we're back to the creepy music and inverted colors. Everything slowed down like I was walking underwater. As I stepped forward in that viscous flow of time, I calmly measured the gap between us. Okay, so this is just more like timely analyzing the situation. It's like this is your split-second thought, but we're having a few extra seconds to read it or analyze it, I guess. Anyway, with our difference in height, reach was my ultimate advantage. It was an ever so tiny distance between us where only my punch would be able to reach. I unleashed my iron fist of righteous anger, but it flew towards his face slowly, like I was punching underwater. Reacting to that, with a smirk on his face, that guy easily slipped inside of my punch. I hadn't realized it until now, but in this mired time, I was able to observe his baffling counterattack with almost painful clarity. His arm slowly swung around in a large windmill motion, wrapped around my whiffed punch, and descended in an arc. That arm swung around like the arms of a clock, and came into contact with my head, twisting my upper body around. Dragging my head along, he followed through with another rotation. This time he rotated his entire body like a top, followed by another rotation. Combining defense and offense, it was a brilliant counter. That's right, 3 times. I was thrown after 3 rotations, I think. In this viscous region of time, I was unable to struggle. I could only wait dumbstruck until the moment I was thrown. The moment I was, that sluggish temporal anomaly abruptly ended. You lack training, young man. I was loath to admit it, but against somebody trained in martial arts, I couldn't win through force of will alone. Okay, this guy's throwing customers. Can we kick him out now? He's... Okay, yes, Keiichi started it, but it's like, you know, worth considering he was trying to protect Shion. He was trying to protect somebody who was getting humiliated and harassed and thrown in a creepy situation that she's too young for. After my consciousness faded in a wave of dizziness, when I came to, I was lying down in my own seat. Hi, Willow. Thankfully, you weren't injured. The more experienced waitress from before wiped the sweat from my brow with a towel. While she was doing that, a red-faced and teary-eyed Shion trudged over. Are you okay? Doing all that for my sake. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, too. I wasn't much help. I've never won a fight before. No, you just trying to help me... You just trying to help made me happy. I'm not joking. It's just that I was thinking that it was lucky Kei-chan came here today. As she said that, she stuck her tongue out teasingly. She wiped off the whipped cream with the washcloth she was holding in her hands. Senozaki-san, you can take your break now. You still have 1 or 2 hours left, don't you? 1 or 2... dude, I would send her home after that shit. Come on. No, it's fine. Even though it's just part-time, it's still a paying job. I want to work properly while I'm on the clock. So really, you don't have to worry about me. I'm gonna worry about you, girl! She couldn't even put up a brave front. I would never even think for a second that Mion could be that weak. This was Shion, and she had been harassed by some unreasonable riffraff. That was reality. Kei-chan, don't mind me. Please, eat as much dessert as you can. When you're done, we'll have you fill out a survey. Well then, I've got to get back to the floor. After some consoling words and a sympathetic smile to Shion, the other waitress started to head back to work. I hope that guy was kicked out. I really hope so. That's where I stopped her. Excuse me. Could I borrow your phone? The phone? It's by the register. I'll show you where. Are you calling in the friends? Are you calling in the squad? pulled a 10 yen coin from my wallet. It's a payphone! Truly, we in the 80s. This wasn't about saving face. My being a worthless coward was an unchangeable fact. Now, you were brave for standing up to that and still going on. Like, dude, I'll give you credit. Come on. It took you a while to get going, but you did it. You did it, okay? I'm proud of you for being a man who stood up for a woman in that situation. Good on you. Good on you. But I could just cry myself to sleep about that later tonight. Fair enough. Mood. Now was not the time for tears. I had to fight. If I recall, 1 ticket is good for up to 4 people, right? Is it alright if I call over 3 more people?
Yes, that's fine.
For the time being, I'll write them down on the guest list. Could I have their names? I turned around and glared at the greasy hooligan. He's still fucking here?! A hooligan! If we have to refer to him again, if he gets talked about again, I'm gonna try to remember to call him hooligan, because I love that. Anyway, yeah, fuck that hooligan. There are 3 things that aren't working in your favor today, punk. The first is that I owe Shion. The second is that I'm a man who's not afraid to throw away his pride to win. What pride was there to throw away there, bud? And the third is that we're the most powerful club members in history. Please add Rena Ryugu, Satoka Hojo, and Rika Furude to the guest list. Oh my god, like, and I'm thinking about, like, that crowd outside the store, and I'm like, if you, like, tell Rena to protect those 2 from the freaks outside. Protect them with Kiyut mode. Understood. I'll do that. I'll have the best... Get the right pride of it. Don't do anything to serve me. Fair enough. Let's see. I'll have the best and most powerful club members join the fray. They can bring down 1,000 foes. And desserts. You hooligans, prepare to meet your maker.
This is a nice restaurant. Oh, the uniforms are cute! Rena wants to wear them too! Oh. On top of that, we're being treated to dessert. I'm deeply moved.
Yeah, eat as much as you like. Don't worry about my share.
Keiichi-san, enough with the charades. Let's get to the point.
Rena and Rika-chan put down their forks when Satoko broached the subject. After looking at them for a few moments, I pressed my forehead firmly into the table. I beg of you. I don't care if you make fun of how pathetic I am. Please lend me your strength. The 3 of them seemed surprised by the sudden turn of events, but nevertheless listened to what I had to say without making fun of my unusual behavior.
What's the matter? Something happened, didn't it?
Actually, Mion's younger sister, Shion, is working part-time at this restaurant.
That little sister you were talking about, right? Could it be her? Could it? She resembles her.
Yeah, like a fucking twin.
Resemble? That's just Mion with her hair down, isn't it?
I didn't know what to say.
If Keiichi says that's Shion, then that's Shion.
They might be twins, but can they really look that much alike? Okay, we're gonna get trivia. I was like, I think so.
They're called monozygotic...
Wow.
They're called monozygotic twins. They really can look identical.
I was gonna say, wouldn't it be, like, I guess that's the fancy way of saying they're identical twins? Okay. Rena gave the most plausible explanation, so everybody else was convinced. Well then, do you believe me? I'll get to the point then. I recounted everything that had just happened. How Shion was targeted, how she was antagonized by the customers, and the humiliation that was forced upon her. Also, how incredibly pathetic I was. I included everything without trying to hide it. You were not pathetic for trying to stand up, okay? I'm just surprised he's still in the restaurant after harassing one of the waitresses. That would be, like, what happened, that very much falls under, you know, that could have injured her and other customers if, like, the glass caused an injury. That is definitely grounds for kicking out. I don't care how customer first your fucking workplace is, he should be kicked out.
That's awful. Poor Shi-chan.
However, for you to be unable to help her... No, he still did by standing up and stopping him. There should be a limit to how unsightly you can be. Are we just... Are we saying it's unsightly that he couldn't beat the guy up? Bro. Anyway. There's nothing I can say to that.
Satoko-chan, to admit that you lost and to seek help is a very difficult thing to do. Keiichi-kun chose to help Shi-chan rather than save his pride.
So pathetic. Rena's follow-up stung a bit, but... How did it... Whatever. It's probably because I don't understand stereotypical man thoughts. Especially from back in the... From this era. Anyway. But I could only be thankful that she understood. Satoko was calling me all sorts of names, but... There was no malign intentions behind her words.
Then what should we do?
Her voice was monotone, but there was a hint of resolve in her words. I replied to Rika-chan's suggestive silence in kind with my own quiet resolve.
Well, I thought it would be something like that. Is it a bit much for It is a bit much for Keiichi-san to handle alone.
Huh? Then you'll help?
Of course, Keiichi-kun. We'll help anybody who's being bullied.
I remembered when I was cornered by those thugs. What Shion had said about the strong feeling of solidarity in Hinamizawa really began to hit home. However, Keiichi Maibara, now is not the time to get choked up with tears of gratitude. Now is the time to fight, though you can probably shed a tear or two as a treat. Sorry, I owe you one.
Not sorry, thank you. You tried your best, but didn't stand a chance alone.
How sad, how sad. Rika-chan gently pat my head for me. Whatever. Rika-chan gently pat my head for me. But there was no mindless pity in the palm of that hand. It was overflowing with the strong, dependable feeling of,
leave the rest to us.
We'll throw him out the window for you. Mion can't join us due to various circumstances, so I'll temporarily be taking command. Our strategy will revolve around Shion's defense and the extermination of the enemy's combat capability.
Who's the enemy? Are there a lot of them?
From this point forward, anybody who messes with Shion shall be considered an enemy combatant. Yes, I was gonna say... Yeah, I would say the whole place is dangerous, but anyway. There are no rules of engagement. Compensation will be the dessert you just ate. Any questions? Everybody had already entered club mode, their eyes peering at the riffraff clamoring around inside the restaurant like predators stalking their prey from the darkness. Rika-chan held up her hand. What is it, Rika-chan?
Do we have to Do we have to show mercy?
Of course we don't have to. We have no need to show mercy to the rabble that would dare lay a finger on Mion's little sister.
Then it's okay. Keiichi?
Rika-chan was serious. She just pulls out a Glock. She was really ready to pretty much murder someone.
Right, no mercy.
Just cocks the gun. I'm counting on you, Rika-chan. I, Keiichi Maibara, shall assume all responsibility. Rout them.
Alrighty. Rena's going to do her best too.
Cute mode. Sorry, please do.
Keiichi-san, you don't have to be so tense. Well, just wait and see. By the time you finish that parfait, we'll have finished cleaning up too.
But not desserts.
Well then, everyone, let's give it our all.
By finished cleaning up, I mean cleaning the blood off the floor.
Go for it. Nipa!
I'm assuming that would be a Nipa moment. I just remembered that was her thing. I've got to pretend they're all saying Nipa! Thus, the most powerful war bands the world had ever known, trained by Mion, began to move. I was the oldest, the only boy, and behaved like a leader. But when you consider our club activities, I was by far the most junior member. Individually, everyone besides me had terrifying combat capabilities. I mean, one of us could easily swing around an axe, I'm pretty sure, or a hatchet, whatever the fuck that was, from Chapter 1. Right, Rena? If all of them combined their strengths to protect Shion, I couldn't even imagine. None will survive. I was probably about to witness something terrible and awe-inspiring. Sonozaki-san, 5 deluxe parfaits for table 7. Sure thing. Shion carried the order to the tables. For Shion to carry all 5 parfaits without wobbling took so much effort that she didn't have the breathing room to pay attention to her feet. Comrades, here she comes here to get— my fucking god. You hooligans! This time we'll have her spill everything up and have her give a special— Stop. I'm not saying that. It was the same bullshit scheme that had— because I'm not saying that word, that phrase, whatever the fuck you want to consider it, that had occurred just a short time earlier. This time, another one of them was trying it out for himself. The very depravity of these men, and I use that term loosely, was itself a full-out attack.
Rena, this is Keiichi.
Rena, this is Keiichi. Ambush them around tables 5 and 6. Rena, do you copy?
The restaurant's uniforms.
She's unlocking cute mode, which is both— it's good, but could also be bad. It's like a confused high-attack Pokemon. They're either gonna cause issues, or they are going to be the issue for others. You know what I mean. Anyway. Double-edged sword. She could be too distracted, but she also mega strong.
I want to take them home.
Shion, her bottom swaying while carrying the parfaits. Like, bottom of the skirt? Or are you also getting a little depraved here, buddy? Was being chased by an equally swaying Rena. She was supposed to be escorting Shion, but Rena was instead transfixed by the back of her uniform. Okay, so it is the uniform. From a normal person's point of view, it was probably like having a fox guard a hen house. But when it comes to Rena, things are different. This fox will beat up anything that comes to the hen house. Cute mode, 120% synchronization. We've won.
When Rena's in that state, even the laws of physics don't apply.
Shion's legs, unsteady and defenseless, were being targeted by those sleazebags. Nope, I'm not. Nope. Why are we going German now? Why are we going German? I almost don't know if I should quote this. Not that there's anything wrong with the German language, it's just the use in this context makes me feel very concerned. Anyway, hooligans being hooligans and absolute coomers. Or gooners. I think coomer is also a term. I'll look it up. Future me, if it's a problem, edit it out of the VOD. Anyway. A leg snaked out to trip Shion's defenseless feet. God, it's 3 of them at once! Yeah. What? It happened in an instant. The 3 fools writhed in pain as their legs bent at unnatural angles. What is this madness? Rena teetered into view and gave them a warning? Question mark?
No mischief, okay? No means no. No. Rena's going to be the one to take her home.
This girl, what's with that strange technique? The human scum clutched at their bruised ankles as they passed out.
Willow? Can I help you? I can hear you yelling at me through the headphones. What are you doing? What is your problem?
Why did you just shock me with static?
Alright, just be a good girl, okay?
Honey, I'm trying to read.
I want to try to at least get through 2 chapters. Okay.
That's our Renaissance. No matter how many times I see it, it's always frighteningly quick.
Implying you can even see it because it's that quick. Yeah, it's an unbreakable barrier. Anyone within a 2-meter radius who attacks Shion is completely obliterated by Rena. As Shion was making her rounds through the restaurant, there were people here and there collapsing with welts on their legs or hands.
Oh, Keiichi-kun, this is Rena. There's nobody left that'll bother Shi-chan. So I'm going to take her home now.
Rena, this is Keiichi. Good work. Please continue the mission. Also, permission to take home denied. I repeat, permission to take home denied.
And I'll just look.
I guess just looking is fine. That wouldn't prevent her from guarding Shion, so I guess it's okay. Anyway, thanks to this, I knew who had tried to mess with Shion. Anybody who was clutching at their arm or leg while they were writhing in agony was basically branded by their bruises. Hooligans. Currently, we have finished identifying all enemy forces, proceeding to the next phase. Satoko, this is Keiichi. What's your status?
This is Satoko.
That's a rude way to ask.
Keiichi-san, exactly who do you think I am?
Status normal.
Satoko was in the kitchen.
She had spread open a sketch of the restaurant on the counter, replete with ordered chits and their destinations, and was now sorting through the freshly made dessert. Oh. I see what's going on now. I see what's happening. Possibly.
Hey, what are you doing? Now, Sonozaki-san, it's alright. Just leave it to her.
If that's a fellow waitress, I'm just gonna be like, this waitress is like just living off of the karma that's happening right now. Like, because normally they can't go against the customers, and now it's like, finally, I am going to thrive off of their misery, which, hell yeah. Anyway, more importantly, we're taking all these orders out at once, so I'm counting on you. The veteran waitress was briskly directing her juniors as the trays went out one after another. All the desserts that had passed through Satoko's hands were delivered at once. I just love that they're like, nah, let her cook. Good shit happening.
Lots of cute desserts are coming.
I think you know this, but don't touch them. At least, if you still value your life.
I know, but...
Certainly, they were all incredibly cute-looking desserts. They were all works of art that you could enjoy before even taking your first bite. However, since Satoko had meddled with them, they were nothing more than unpredictable danger. Blissfully ignorant of that fact were the men now stuffing their faces. This is... Almost right away, they realized that something was wrong. Satoko, what did you mix in there? It couldn't have been salt or Tabasco, right? Laxative. Say laxative.
My, what are you saying, Keiichi-san? You said no mercy. I might not look like it, but when I get down to business, I like to be very thorough.
As she said that, she twirled a dubious file in her fingers before putting it away smartly into her pouch.
Rika, this is Satoko. The customers are moving. Escort duty is all yours. Leave it to me.
Come to think of it, I didn't see Rika-chan anywhere. Where could she be lurking? Clatter. Several men stood up suddenly from their seats, surveying the restaurant for something. Could it be a bathroom? The facilities? That restless fidgeting. And that look of relief when they found the single placard hanging from the ceiling. Written on that placard was the word restroom. They began a mad rush in that direction. It wasn't just one or two people. All the people that were branded as the enemy were standing up from their seats while clutching at their stomachs. I think I was a little too greedy. Where's the washroom? Mewtwo. I like that I'm trying to come up with a Pokemon joke, but no. Not a Nyamber 1, but a Nyamber 2. It is laxatives, but also stop. Enemies do not deserve the language of Nya. I need to cash out now. Where's the toilet? I found it! You're in for it now. You're clutching your stomach and you're making a urine pun, right? Really? Really? I felt dirty just thinking about what Satoko probably did to their desserts. Nah, they deserved it. If you're gonna, like, if you are gonna cause problems for any sort of waitstaff, for any reason, you kind of deserve this. You also probably don't realize it, but like, you've probably eaten like food that was spat on by the workers if you were really bad. The problem was how to follow this up. I was intrigued, so I followed the rush of men to the washroom. The narrow hallway connecting to the restroom was crammed with about 10 men. What is this? As I peered over to see what was happening. Whoa. What? It seemed that the toilet was clogged and backflowing, unleashing a loud gurgling sound and a terrible stench. There's no way to use it in this state. Okay, what about the other two stalls? Damn, that's a Toko. What a frightening display. Or was that just from one toilet? Was that from one person using a toilet? What a frightening display of power. Nope, that's what I thought. No, this wasn't Toko's doing. It was divine punishment. Yeah, they were just unlucky. I'll just apologetically ask one of the employees here to clean it up. I can't do my business like this. What do we do now, comrades? It was a brilliant combination of traps. But it would be better if there were one more push to the kicker. Seeing as it was Satoko, she wouldn't have overlooked that. Now that it's come to this, it was time for the last resort. Faced with a moral dilemma, that man had only one other option. Women's restroom. Isn't using the girls' room going to get us in trouble? I'm pretty sure there's no female customers today. Why didn't I think of that before? Clearly you weren't paying attention to the 3 girls that walked in not too long ago. Women, shut up. What a brazen bunch they are. The men, sweat now pouring from their brows, made a mad rush to the girls' room without any hesitation. Hi, Rika. Me. Just... Meep. Hello. There was a girl there. There was girl there. There was girl there. Sorry. There was a girl there. It was Rika-chan. The men stood there, frozen in various complicated poses, indicating their surprise. Rika-chan also seemed dumbfounded by the sudden turn of events. But the look on her face was strangely... perfect. This is all part of the plan as well. You sly dog, Rika-chan. I should never underestimate you. This is... you see, mademoiselle... The men's room is a bit dangerous at the moment, so we just want to borrow the toilet here right now. But I guess it's not right after all, right, my comrades? Just by having a girl stand there in the restroom. I never knew we could put up such an overwhelming barrier, especially Rika. with that little face. There was no way anybody could be brave enough to lift Rika-chan out of the way to try and do their business. This was the most they could do after all. If it were a man in full club mode, for example, someone like me, they would plow through Rika-chan without a second thought. No, what are you gonna do, hooligans? The price for tormenting Shion still hasn't been paid.
If you're in trouble, I can help you.
That would be much appreciated. How would you do that?
You can use one of the toilets outside. I'll show you to them.
That would be perfect. Please, please. At this rate, it'll end up becoming a group enema party. Oh my god. Rika-chan, with a pleasant smile on her face, guided them with a casual stride in her step. Willow, what are you doing? Hold on, I think Willow's getting into something. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on. Let me get the BRB bounce up. 1 sec. Okay, just 1 sec. I'm gonna leave the mic on just in case. I don't want to have audio issues be a problem. Tequila, please start chirping. Start chirping, little buddy. Cause sound so I don't, like, get another fucking, like, strike or whatever. Please, I appreciate it. Thank you. Got it. Good. Gonna move ramen noodles to other space. Hold on. Actually gonna heat them up while I'm standing. 1 second. Only take me 2 seconds. Okay. Yep. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I fixed it. We're good. I just want to make sure that there's no, like, muting that is needed. I felt awkward when I saw that on one of my VODs before. We'll make sure we're all good. It looks like we're all good. I think we're all good. We're all good. Almost done. Come on. Almost there. Hey, Willow. How do you keep causing problems? I want to see the hooligans shit themselves. They fucking deserve it for being freaks. Absolute audacity of the hooligans. Okay. Okay, I heated the noodles up a little bit. They might need more heating, but it's fine. I don't want to take a break for too long. It's okay. I'm here. I'm just grabbing a jacket now, because it's getting a little chilly in here. It's nighttime. Gets colder. There's no sunlight. And also, I can hear that it's breezy out there. Which is probably just making it even colder. But I also don't want to turn on my heater because it causes squeaking. It squeaks for some reason. I need a new squeaker. Okay. Okay. Alright. And rotate so I don't accidentally hit those chopsticks and make a mess. And okay, I am back. And we're good. Okay. Anyway, back to these guys basically shitting themselves. Rika-chan, with a pleasant smile on her face, guided them with a casual stride in her step. In this race against time, her slow pace was sadistic torture.
So he's like, yep, right this way. It's just slow walking.
Oh my god, I love you, Rika. Mademoiselle, is the toilet far from here?
We'll get there soon.
Obeying Rika-chan's directions, they were about to leave the restaurant.
Keiichi can finish it. Give him hell.
Yeah, leave it to me. I spread my arms out and blocked them as they tried to leave the restaurant. What is the meaning of this? We're at DEFCON 1 here. DEFCON 1? Like about to defecate or anyway. Listen up, you hooligans. You know what happens if you even set 1 foot outside this door, right? What is the meaning of this preposterous statement?
Look, it's written right here on the ticket. Not valid for re-entry. See?
Oh, good. Get them out of here.
You're free to use any toilet you want, but the moment you step outside that door, you can't come back.
Boom. You'll remember this?
I don't want to get anybody who says scary things like that.
Everybody panicked as Rika-chan began to turn back. They could only figuratively and literally fall in line. All the waitresses also lined up to see them off.
Thank you very much for coming.
We shall return! Clang, clang. The bell rang playfully as the door shut behind them. How pathetic! Too easy! Fucking laxatives. Girl, you genius.
We did it! Yay!
Rena and Satoko clapped their hands together. Whew, I couldn't hold a candle to those guys by myself, but when we get the group together, we sent them packing like a herd of cattle. With opponents this week, any of us could take them on by ourselves. Keiichi-san, you need to up your game. I was loath to admit it, but Satoko was right. Damn it. No, you were just thinking I gotta fight him off and not thinking outside the box like these lovely ladies did. One day I'll be strong enough to be worthy to stand alongside them.
But I'm really glad we were able to protect Mi-chan's little sister. Now there's none of those bad people who were pulling pranks left.
As far as we know. But hopefully after that display, anybody who was thinking of trying anything won't even. You're blessed to have such wonderful friends, Sonozaki-san. The veteran waitress was also smiling. After the herd was sent packing, it had calmed down completely inside the restaurant. Shion was flustered as she glanced between us and the now empty seats. Yeah, see, at that point, if a certain group of people, I don't care how much they are gonna pay you for this. Also, Willow, you okay? You okay? You okay, honey? You okay? Oh, you must be if you're ignoring me. Okay. Let's see. But yeah, at that point, I would, like, suggest to the restaurant owner, maybe make a rule that if you somehow harass or cause issues for the waitresses, then you gone. Bye. Anyway, Shion was flustered as she glanced between us and the now empty seats.
You did that for me? I mean...
Shion's expression was somewhere between happy and guilt-ridden. Her face had turned slightly red as she ran into the kitchen.
Whoa, Shi-chan is cute! They really are twins! Oh.
Given Shion's personality, there's no way she'd thank us directly. We might have been a bit excessive in our means, but I'm really glad we were able to save her. I think you know this already, but Sonozaki-san is very grateful. As a representative of the floor staff here, I also extend my gratitude. Because Lord knows our boss doesn't stand up for this shit. Applause. The applause quickly spread throughout the entire restaurant. Not only the other waitresses, but also the customers that were genuinely there to enjoy the desserts. Everyone was lauding our efforts. Aw. Feels good to do the right thing. When we had mostly finished eating and were filling out the survey, Rika-chan made her return. Oh, good work! Did everything go all right? You took a while.
I'm sorry. I got lost on the way back. It was a lot of trouble. Rika-chan likes to stray down some pretty strange roads, so she gets lost pretty often.
How did she get lost just guiding people to a nearby well, because she gave up guiding them. She was like,
nah, you're all scary, bye.
That or she did continue to guide some of them and still took the long way. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. Rika has a lot of strong points that more than make up for that. I can see that. That expression in the girls' room, you're quite the thespian.
Keiichi was being horrible. He was thinking if I were in their shoes, I'd just run her over and rush into the washroom.
What? What I was thinking, when did you think that? I thought you said if it were anybody, like if it were me. Like, in her shoes. I must have misread that. Anyway.
Keiichi-kun was a pervert?
No, I mean... What? Savage. Rika's savage. Hold on. I could laugh about it then, but a few days later, a newspaper headline read, 10 unidentified men were taken into custody in Hideyama. The men claimed they had traveled from Shishibone City by foot to find a toilet, but the spot they were taken into custody was blank kilometers away from Shishibone. When I read that article, I realized how terrifying Rika-chan really was. Wonder what it's gonna be like when she has to kill us. If everybody gets their turn anyway. I know Rena already did. Or tried to anyway. One sec, noodles. Yum.
Well, thanks for treating me. I'm happy that you called me here today.
Oh, are you going home already? You can stay a little longer.
I was in the middle of organizing some drawers. If I leave it like that, I won't be able to put out the futon.
Ah, I guess that's true. Oops, looks like I called her at a bad time.
Yeah, when I phoned her, she was in the middle of cleaning her room. But she still came.
Well, it was an emergency, so it couldn't be helped.
Besides that, I got to eat a lot of sweets, so I'm very happy.
Thanks for today. Sorry for calling you out suddenly.
Tell Shion I said bye.
I'll be taking my leave then.
Rena-san, please, take your time. Yeah, I will. Later!
Rika and Satoko, in a good mood, horsed around with each other as they left. Did we hit the end of the chapter? Or is it just another... Nope, we still got more! While Rena and I were having a discussion about the dessert we just ate, Shion arrived with some coffee.
Oh, did the two little ones leave already?
Hearing them called little ones was so strange, I inadvertently burst out laughing. Apparently, they were in the middle of cleaning, so they went home. Shion had brought enough coffee for 4 people. Aw.
I heard from my senior. It seems that you went through a lot of trouble for my sake, and Willow is
Zooming again. Girl, what are you doing? Please be careful with your zoomies.
Oh dear.
It was no trouble at all. None other than Shi-chan was in a pinch, after all. Oh, is it alright if I call you Shi-chan? It matches with Mi-chan, so I thought it'd be cute. Well, whatever you want.
Shion seemed a bit hesitant when Rena started talking to her. Rena's pretty sharp about something, so Shion was probably worried that Rena would find out she was Mion after talking like this. Shion said she'd have work soon and hurried off back to the kitchen, leaving behind coffee for just the 2 of us.
She was a bit upset with Rena. Maybe she thought I was being too friendly? Aww.
She's just embarrassed.
Still, they really do look the same. Instead of twins, it's like there's another Mi-chan.
They look the same, but the atmosphere around them, or rather their insides, are completely different. I think those types of twins are pretty interesting, though.
You think that, Keiichi-kun? I think they're identical on the inside, too.
It somehow became silent. Yeah, besides the Higurashi being like, hold on, shit's happening. Maybe. Willow, where are you?
Why do I hear you meowing at me? What? What? Honey, I'm still in just 1 chapter. I need to do 1 more after this. You know how to jump. You know how to jump on the bed. Don't act like you don't. What could I even do to make your jump easier? You know how to jump. Go on. You can jump.
No, you're just gonna be a brat. Okay.
Willow? Honey? I know you know how to jump on the bed, so, that's clearly what you want to do, so go jump on the bed. It's fine. It's okay. You're okay. Yes, so don't blink. Yes, you do what you gotta. I'm in the middle of something, though. Yes, oh, yes, there's a good girl. Get good scritches. Yeah. Okay, but I'm in the middle of something right now, so I gotta get back to it, okay? Okay? I love you too. You go be a good girl.
Okay. Alright, let's see. Right, went silent with the cicada. Yep. Rena was just staring at the pattern the milk made on the surface of her coffee without saying a word. For somebody like me who could never stop talking, it was a rather uncomfortable moment. Rena's off-put mannerism seemed to imply I said something I shouldn't have. That unpleasantness carried on for a little while. Rena? You said it today, right? That Mion was hurting?
Did I say something like that?
Don't play dumb with me. You definitely said it. On the way home from school. Rena answered by laughing while continuing to play dumb, questioning if she said that. As thick-headed as I was, I had a faint realization. Rena wanted to say that I was the one who hurt Mion. But when? Me? Hypothetically, if something like that happened, it's not something I did out of malice. I continued the conversation, but left out the assumption that I had hurt Mion.
Yeah, I think that's true. I don't think Keiichi-kun had any bad intentions.
Rena replied, also leaving out the assumption that I had hurt Mion. But that confirmed it. I don't know how it happens, but it seems that I had hurt Mion. And Rena was upset with me due to the fact I hadn't realized it.
I don't want you to misunderstand. It's not like Rena is mad at you.
Seeing right through what I was thinking, again, dude, never play poker. You just do not have a poker face. You have the opposite. Rena said that as she smiled even more gently than usual.
It's just that... How do I say this? It's hard.
If I made a mistake, please say so clearly. I'm so thick-headed, I disgust even myself. If there's something I should apologize for, then I'd want to know even a little quicker so I can make up for it.
I don't think that Keiichi-kun made a mistake. Depending on how you look at it, Mii-chan might be the one who's being unfair. Taking the stance that the girl was the one being unfair might be unfair in itself.
What Rena said was draped in mystery. Unfortunately, I had no idea what she meant. The only thing I got out of it was that I had said or done something to inadvertently hurt Mion. I'm begging you, Rena. Mion is one of my best friends. I don't want to leave something between us that could cause problems later on. So, tell me, how did I hurt her?
I can't tell you. You need to realize something like this for yourself.
Rena was smiling like she always did, but spoke bluntly. The fact that she had this strength of will surprised me for a moment. I'm asking you because I can't figure it out, you know? My tone had unintentionally become harsh. I probably should have read it more harsh. Anyway, Rena was also surprised for a moment, but quickly returned to her flat demeanor.
Well then, I guess just a hint is fine. This is special, okay?
Sorry. Please. I'll think about this seriously. Rena looked around the restaurant, searching for Shion. Shion was working enthusiastically, but without confidence as usual.
Shi-chan, if she ties her hair up, it's impossible to tell apart from Mii-chan, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So then, if Mii-chan let down her hair, would she be impossible to tell apart from Shi-chan?
Probably. But what does that have to do with anything?
What if that her being the younger twin was a lie? That she was just Mii-chan pretending to be her sister? What would you think?
What if that her being the younger twin was a lie? That she was just Mii-chan pretending to be... Yeah, okay. Rena was sharper than her daily behavior belied. I was hesitant in verbally affirming that, but it was the right answer. It might be unfair to answer a question with another question, but if, like you say, Mion is just pretending to be Shion, what purpose would that serve? After maintaining the silence for a while, Rena glanced at the clock.
That's what I want you to think about. Is that maybe too much of a hint?
After thanking me for the dessert, Rena stood up from her seat.
Sorry, I was asked to buy a few things, so it's about time I left. Is it okay with you if you tell Shion I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye?
Yeah, I'll tell her.
Sorry.
Huh?
That Rena is so short-tempered. Sorry for getting angry. Keiichi-kun isn't the only one at fault here.
Rena was harsh in her apology, but I was the one who really should have apologized.
I think to Mii-chan, it's something that doesn't bother her much anymore. So, if you want to forget the whole thing that happened, that's fine too. But, you see, as a girl, I hope that Keiichi-kun realizes it by himself and comes to apologize of his own volition. Oh,
Switching to cute mode only at the end, she disappeared in the direction of the register. While I was staring into space, somebody suddenly tapped me on the shoulder. And someone is off the clock.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
I'm finally done. It was Shion, who had changed into her street clothes. She flashed a smile while greeting me. Thank you so much for today. Everything was delicious. We were all really happy with it.
Oh, no, don't mention it. But I'm glad everybody had fun.
Uh-huh.
That girl that was just here left as well?
She had some shopping to do. She said she was sorry for leaving without saying anything.
I see. Well then, should we leave as well?
Even though I'm off duty, I'm still nervous around the workplace. Fair enough. We ended up strolling around without any destination in particular. I had been sitting the entire time, so I was in need of a breath of fresh air. When we left, the sky had already become draped in a veil of darkness.
It's gotten dark already. Even though I promised I'd be finished early.
Shion seemed upset that there wasn't much time left.
Oh well. At least we've got a little time to chat like this.
Seeing that, Shion set out for the tree-lined boulevard behind the station. The front of the station was slowly becoming crowded with businessmen heading home.
Well then, I guess I should start with an introduction. I was mistaken for my sister when we first met, so we never got to properly introduce ourselves.
I could only smile and laugh wryly.
My name is Shion Sonozaki. I'm only similar to my older sister in appearance. My sister is rough around the edges and hot-headed, but I'm a composed and methodical person.
I remembered what Rena and I had been talking about earlier. I said that they looked the same, but their personalities were different, while Rena said they were both the same. I don't know what tipped her off, but Rena figured out that Shion was Mion. Also, related to that, she said that I had hurt Mion. Rena had given only one hint. That was, why is Mion pretending to be Shion? Shion, what did you hear about me from Mion?
My sister seems to have taken a liking to you.
She talks about you quite a bit. Like about club activities, about getting pranked and pranking you back. Boyish kinds of stories.
You really do get along.
Boyish kind of stories, huh? Come to think of it, I think that was something Shion told me before. Kei-chan, you don't think of my sister as a girl, do you? Was that what happened to hurt Mion? Mion herself said that she wished she'd been born a boy and that being a girl didn't suit her. She said a lot of things to that effect, didn't she? Be who you want to be, I'll support you.
Kei-chan, you look like you're having fun.
Huh? No, that's not true.
Even though you're bad at hiding things, you sure like to lie, don't you?
Still, I don't hate you for it. Saying that, she lightly chopped my forehead.
What the?
Even though Shion was enjoying herself, I was still trying to figure out how I had hurt Mion. I was having a hard time figuring out the riddle that Rena had left me with.
Hey, see that? Don't you think it's pretty? You think even a guy would find it pretty?
Yeah, it is pretty. Shion was having fun window shopping, dragging me by all sorts of stores I would normally never enter. It wasn't like she was begging me to buy her anything, and I wasn't getting bored either. It was just something to talk about as we walked around. In an easygoing way, we browsed through numerous stores. We discussed all sorts of topics I knew nothing about, but I didn't lose interest. I had the feeling she was good at conversation.
Kei-chan, is this your first time doing this kind of thing?
Yeah, it is. If somebody didn't bring me into these accessory shops, I don't think I'd set foot in one my entire life.
Not that. I meant more like this.
What? I leapt back when Shion suddenly linked her arm with mine.
Hey, you don't have to act so surprised.
Girl?
It's not so embarrassing to link arms with a girl, is it?
Shion's expression was a little bit miffed, but suggestive at the same time. I'm not embarrassed. Yes, you are. If you want some arms, I can spare one or two. Here.
Kei-chan, you really know how to entertain someone. I see why my sister took a liking to you.
If you don't want my arm, I'm taking it back.
Oh, come on. I'm happy to have it.
Laughing in good spirits, Shion locked her arm with mine. My heart skipped a beat.
This question might be a bit mean, but I want to enjoy seeing your reaction. Kei-chan, have you ever been arm in arm with a girl before? Around a bonfire at a field trip doesn't count, by the way.
That little devil. She was asking that question knowing full well what the answer would be.
Well, if field trips are out...
this is rough.
I thought as much.
That impish laugh, it really is the same as Mion's. You really are Shion, right? You're not just Mion saying that you're Shion, are you? Being a little forward with it, aren't you?
Are you thinking that my sister might pretend to be me?
I thought you were twins until just now, but the way you mess around is just like Mion.
You're just saying that. You can tell us apart easily.
What do you mean by that?
If my sister was holding your arm like this, would you get nervous?
I would. I'd be completely on edge, worrying about when she would go for an arm lock. Shion laughed so hard she had to hold on to her sides. Hey, is it really that funny? You're tearing up.
No, it's just... I was thinking about how hopeless my sister is. She isn't even able to get a young man hot and bothered while she's arm in arm with him.
She really is a failure as a woman. That's... Okay, we're getting a little... That's a little harsh there, girl. I remembered once again, I'd heard someone say that before.
Sometimes, I think that my sister would have been better off if she'd been born a boy.
If she did, I might... Nope, not saying that line. Just kidding! Don't joke about that shit. Don't joke about that shit. That's a big squick for me. No, don't. Stop being weird about siblings, people! Also, real quick hydration check, because I'm feeling it. And I haven't done this yet. Save your work. And check your posture. Stop shrimping. Yum. Hey, hold on. Get over here. Okay, weird. Alright. We're good. We're good. Stay. We're good. It's a good thing you're kidding. Mion did say something about wanting to be born a boy.
My sister is on the fence as to whether she wants to be a boy or a girl.
I have a wonderful answer for you, my friend. Non-binding. Or I don't know. Society has evolved a lot since the 80s. You can probably find your best identity now.
Well, it's the price she pays for living an awkward lifestyle.
Also, there's nothing wrong with being a boyish girl. Just saying. Or a girlish boy. I really don't care. Live your life the way you want to. Fuck societal expectations.
Yeah, well, it's for awkward lifestyle. Just leave her be.
Is it just me, or is Shion sounding a little harsh right now? Literally! Just looked at Keiichi's next line. You've been saying some pretty harsh things about your Yeah, you've been saying some pretty harsh things about your sister right now.
Mion has some soft parts to her that I don't like.
The way that Shion talked somehow sounded cold. Shion, do you not get along with Mion?
Well, we get along well enough. As in, we haven't tried to stab each other yet. Still, there's a few things for which I can't forgive her, as her sister. Hey, look at that! Don't you think it's cute? I'm gonna change topics!
I turned around to look at where Shion was pointing. What was there was the familiar display window of a toy shop. The same shop that was the stage for the incident that occurred during last Sunday's club activities. What Shion was pointing at was a display with a plethora of adorable dolls that looked like the sort girls would like. I wonder why girls like these kinds of things. You know what? I've always wondered that as a girl, as someone who was raised as a girl, or that grew up as a girl, I always wondered that. I genuinely would feel awkward whenever, like, relatives tried gifting me, like, a doll for, like, birthday or Christmas. I'd be like, the fuck do I do with this?
It's because they're cute.
I don't know, sometimes they're creepy.
Don't you think they're cute, Kei-chan?
I think dinosaurs are cute. Anyway, I'm a man, so I don't really get that vibe. Well, I mean, I could go on gender rants all the time. I won't stop.
Now, which one do you think is the cutest out of all these, Kei-chan?
Shion, pulling on my arm, motioned to the row of dolls. They were lined up like they were close sisters taking a commemorative photo. A few of them seemed strangely familiar. Can we get a CG? I've seen those 4 over there somewhere.
Oh, I guess they really are famous.
If even you know about them. Shion sounded impressed.
These are new dolls that were just brought in from England. They still have some available here, but around the cities, they have trouble keeping them on the shelves. Even though they're supposed to be inexpensive, it seems they're starting to come at a premium.
I guess girls still like these kinds of things, even as they grow up.
It depends on the person, but I think that girls who don't like dolls and stuffed animals are pretty few and far between.
Even my tomboy of a sister said these were adorable. Oh? Even Mion says they're adorable. That is pretty amazing. That's right, I just remembered. The store owner gave this one to us after Sunday's event. Except for Mion, who was a relative, everybody had gotten something.
I really do think that one's the best. That frilly dress really gives it something.
That's it. That's the one the shop owner gave to me.
So it seems.
Shion replied softly, but clearly, yes, I see what's going on here.
Uncle Yoshiro gave those out as thanks for helping liven things up at Sunday's event. It seems he gave them to the 4 friends my sister brought along.
So, you got the doll with the dress then?
What did you think? It was really cute, right?
As a man, there's no way I'd think it was cute.
So, what did you do with the doll?
I wasn't really going to do anything with it, so I gave it to someone.
To who?
As Shion laughed, I can hear an audible click run through my head like the piece of a jigsaw puzzle snapping into place. Thank you very much for today, everyone. I remember this, yeah. You made the event turn out great. It's not much, but here's something extra for today. Uncle Yoshiro, isn't there a little something for me too? My, quite an adorable one, is it not? When Satoko and Rika-chan opened up the bag, there were cute little stuffed animals inside.
Wow, they're so cute! Can I take them home? I really can?
Which means there's something for me too? Whoa, I got a pretty adorable one. It was a stuffed toy wearing a beautiful dress, one you'd use to play house. Rena's eyes were glued to my stuffed doll. Satoko was the same, and Rika-chan too? Sorry. There we go. I see. It wasn't just Rena, Satoko, and Rika. There was one other person who seemed jealous. Kei-chan got the one that fits him the least! Not wanting for her expression to give it away, she had said that to hide her embarrassment. Well, I guess it's cute and pretty. I can admit, it's adorable, but a doll with changeable clothes is... eh? If you walked around with it, then you'd be treated like a weirdo starting tomorrow. Definitely. Mion's usual teasing way of talking. I looked around to see who I should give the doll to. Mion was right in front of me. Mion was the only one who hadn't received a Yeah, I thought it was weird that he didn't give anything to her too. I was like, bro? So I thought about giving it to her. But I didn't.
Huh? You're giving it to me? To Rena? Thank you!
Turning away from Mion's covetous gaze, I gave the doll to Rena. Mion's smile bore into my back. There was no way I couldn't have noticed. Why did I not give it to Mion? Yeah, why? Since Mion was the only one who didn't get anything, wouldn't it have just been standard practice to give it to her? At that time, I had noticed that something was wrong. That's why I said it. Just protecting myself. If I didn't give it to Rena, then walking the streets at night would be scary. No doubt, no doubt. I thought about giving it to Mion, but it just didn't feel right. Hey Joey, how's it going? Good evening to you too. Something dark flickered briefly in Mion's eyes, but at the time I didn't notice it. I had thought to give it to Mion. Why didn't I? You know it. I sometimes wonder why I wasn't born a boy. Mion herself had said that with a laugh, so I didn't realize that I had hurt her.
That's right. Mion is more suited for cool things. So I think having you help out here was the right choice.
Huh? Oh, no. That was him saying it. Got it. Going okay, waiting on food to cool, freezing to death slightly because I left the vent close to the... Oh, dear. Yeah, I hope you can, like, bundle up with a blanket and warm up and enjoy your food. It's definitely getting colder these days. I kind of appreciate it, but it is definitely colder. Lord knows I'm going to turn my heater on as soon as I finish streaming. I just don't have it on right now because it squeaks a bit when it runs for some reason, and I'm afraid it will get picked up on the mic and get annoying. Anyway, let's see. That's right. Mion is more suited for cool things, so I think having you help out here is the right choice. Huh? Shion asked, probably thinking she misheard me. That uniform, it would never suit somebody like Mion. But if it's Shion, I think it works. Huh. You mean that... Oh gosh. I have trouble getting, like, just the right balance. But I also kind of get that. It's like, I know that I get colds. I'm getting cold right now, but I have to sleep with my heater off, like, even if I feel cold going to sleep, because I know I'm going to start sweating in my sleep if I sleep with the heater on, so I kind of get it. Alright. Shion, like Rena often does, spaced out and turned bright red. Mion seemed really happy. She seemed happy that I complimented Shion. Saying that it didn't suit Mion, but that it suited Shion. Saying that it suited her seemed to make her happy. Well, I got Corin to max Mindscape level, so that's good. Ben is 1 away, and Random Billy that I got is, just a random Billy that I got him to max level as well. No sign of lighter yet, though. After 410 pulls, so 40 pulls in total, no sign of lighter yet. We still got time, though. Still got time. Got like 11 or 12 days left. I just hope I have a decent paycheck and decent tips this week, because I feel like I might need to actually drop some money this time around. Ugh. It's like, if I miss out on Haramasa, that'll be one thing, because, like, I have a lot of electric units. I think I'll be okay. But god, I really want lighter. He's just so cool. And I also want Hoyoverse to know that there are people who are interested in male unit. I mean, I don't care about the gender of units, but I know, like, women, female units, whatever you want to call them, those tend to sell better, and I get it. But I also want them to know that male units are also loved. So, yeah, that's my logic. I want to make sure I try to get him and Haramasa if I can. But ideally, if I had to just pick one, it would be lighter. I had to uninstall it. Ah, man. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Hoyoverse games are pretty chunky, so that makes sense. Like, when I was going through my stuff, I had Genshin installed as a just in case, but when I was running out of space on my computer, I uninstalled Genshin, and that cleared up so much goddamn space. Especially since I'm not playing it. Yeah, I really need to get more storage for my computer, too. Like, that's, I thought to look into it for Cyber Monday, but I just didn't have the money for it at the time. Yeah, let's see. Mion's... Oh, right, yeah, back to this. Okay, we're still looking back on things. We're having a Keiichi's having a retrospective. Right. Mion's younger twin sister? She's got a different personality, but she's a dead ringer for Mion. That's right. We look similar, but our personalities are completely different. I'm very kind and thoughtful, but Shion has a cold and scary personality. I think that when you guys were born, Shion got all the feminine aspects. Unlike Mion, she's a cute, cheerful girl. Yep, I see. Yeah, I see what's going on. Yep. I have actually had to... So I got Akron's light... Nice. Palo Infant... Nice. And 4 pulls? That's actually really good, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I just felt happy that I managed to get Acheron's Light Cone at all, because I missed it the first time around. But yeah, that's a good pull prog. Nice job. Mion made a strange face that was both angry and happy at the same time. It seems she was happy that I said Shion was cute. Sneaking a look inside the box, to say that she just put some of the leftovers inside would have been a lie. There was an elegant meal stuffed inside. Is it really okay? There's not like a ton of hot sauce mixed in or anything, right? Jeez, I'm not my sister. I wouldn't do that kind of thing. If you don't like it, you don't have to force yourself. I'll just go home and eat it myself. I'm not my sister. That was how she said it. Shion was insistent that she wasn't Mion. She was saying that she was Shion and that I shouldn't think of her as Mion. When Mion was Shion, it carried a special meaning.
Michan is mysterious, right? She's a girl, but it's like she's a guy.
Boyish femmes are totally fine. That's what Rena said.
But you see, even that Michan is actually quite feminine.
Rena, how much did Mion pay you exactly?
That's not true. Jeez, I'm trying to have a serious conversation, you know? You know?
Rena began to pout. Now probably wasn't the right time to joke around.
Michan is the club president, so she's trying hard to lead everybody. But she's really a very cute girl. I really don't want you to forget that, Keiichi-kun.
There never was a riddle to begin with. Rena was saying the answer right from the beginning. So then, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
I know Kei-chan didn't mean anything wrong. At least he didn't intend to.
Yeah, Keiichi-kun isn't the type of person to hurt others. So there's no reason for you to feel...
Oh, we're in Mion's perspective. Oh, okay.
So there's no reason for you to feel hurt by this, Michan.
Then, what was it?
Frustration? Sadness? I don't know at all. Did you want it? The doll, I mean. It wouldn't really help even if I gave you the doll. If I gave you the doll I got, would it?
You're right.
How about this, Michan? Try asking Keiichi-kun. You might be able to solve the problem if you tackle it head on. There's no way I could do that. Is it too embarrassing to do that now?
I want to try again. As somebody other than Mion. This time, I can be more honest with myself. Don't get me wrong, I'm pretty fond of the relationship I have with Kei-chan. This might be selfish, but one more time.
Keiichi-kun will definitely notice.
I wonder if that's true.
Rena will cheer you on too. So, let's find a way for you to ease your sadness. Believe me, I won't let anything happen that'll make you cry, Michan.
I'll believe. I'll believe.
Keiichi-kun will definitely come to understand. He'll say he's sorry for saying something so callous. Then he'll bring you to that store and buy that doll for you as a present.
Yeah.
And then, Michan, you'll say thank you. You can't fool around. Say it honestly.
Yeah. Back to present Kei-chan angle, or POV, okay?
If I said I wanted it, Kei-chan, would you buy it for me?
Mion said it quietly, doing her best to quell her embarrassment. I would have reflexively begun to lightly tease her to hide my embarrassment. Like Mion, I quelled that impulse. Okay, Mion. As thanks for everything until today, I'll buy you whichever one you want. My voice cracked with the unfamiliar words. In order to not lose to Mion trying her best, I tried my best as well.
But I'm not Mion, I'm Shion.
Shion, then. I'll buy it for you, Shion. Shion looked down. Red-faced, she pointed at the doll in the dress through the store window.
Is it really okay?
The one in the dress is a little expensive, isn't it? This isn't a matter of price. This is a matter of feelings.
When I was saved by Kei-chan from those unsavory customers today, I was really happy. Even though my coworkers didn't save me, Kei-chan did. You grabbed me by the shoulder really firmly, right? Right then, you were really cool. Even then, I was so embarrassed. I couldn't properly express my gratitude. I clamped down my hand on Shion's head and ruffled her hair roughly. Like how I would do to Rena and the others. When I did that, Shion, like Rena would have, spaced out and blushed slightly. You don't have to think too hard about it. I should have just given it to you back then. If I did that, then everybody would have had a good laugh. Shion didn't respond. She had turned bright red, like she was trying to hold back both laughter and tears. I'll go buy it for you right now. Wait, right there. I'll go with you. Saying that, she grabbed onto my arm once again. She wasn't trying to be stoic anymore. I think I know why my sister likes you. Hey, is it alright if I start to like you a bit too, Kei-chan? The unfamiliar situation made my head start to spin. What am I doing? I had reached my limits. Smiling wryly to hide my embarrassment, I dragged Shion into the store with me. Excuse me? I want to buy that doll in the dress that's in the window! After a moment, I heard a voice of acknowledgement and an apron-clad employee soon appeared. I fucking knew it! Kei-chan? And I was like, wouldn't it be so fucking funny? Wouldn't it, or not even funny, but just amazing. If Shion, or it's not Shion, Mion was the one who was like, yeah, sure, come here, wait a minute. And lo and behold, hey girl, how's it going? Kei-chan, and why are you here? This has nothing to do with you. I'm on a date with Kei-chan right now. I never said it. What? Why is Kei-chan? Even if you ask why, I'd like to know the answer myself, bro. It's literally just, oh, so they are twins. There you go. That's all it is. But also, that means you need to have a good heart-to-heart with Mion later. Anyway, Mion looked at me with an expression of confusion and surprise. But that was the same with me. If she was there, then who was right next? Then who was flying the plane? Anyway. I said it right at the beginning. I'm Shion Sonozaki, my sister's younger twin. Kei-chan, you even called me Shion, didn't you? Shion, saying that, pouted cutely. What is going on? Tell me, Shion? Not much. I was wondering what kind of person this Kei-chan you were so infatuated with was. Oh, this is getting very scummy now. So, I happened to give him a ticket to the dessert festa. There, when I was being bothered by all sorts of troublesome customers, Kei-chan gallantly appeared and saved me by kicking them all to the curb, or something like that. No, I had the rest of the club help. What? Both Mion and I raised our voices pathetically, expressing our confusion to the utmost. Mion, you phoned me yesterday, right? I didn't. I have no idea what you're talking about. I delivered that bento for you, didn't I, Kei-chan? That was me, right? Or was it my sister? The person known as Mion Sonozaki put together a bento and bravely went to a boy's home to deliver it, maybe? Oh, you're a lot bolder than you look, sis. With a loud pop, a trail of smoke began to rise from Mion's head. No, I don't know. See, Kei-chan? My sister says she doesn't know.
So, everything up until yesterday was me, Shion Sonozaki. You might have thought it was my sister pretending to be me, but with this, there's no doubt, right? I couldn't tell up from down at that moment. If there was a mirror around, I could have seen my eyes go wide from the shock. Now, little Miss Shopkeeper, could you wrap up that doll in the window? It's the first present from the person I've come to let— You are escalating things fast, honey! So make sure you tie it up nicely with a ribbon. Mion, completely flustered, was being cornered by a sly-faced Shion. My brain had stopped working. Wait, what? Huh? Kei-chan? What is going on? Well, let's go. Kei-chan, it's already dark out, so I'll see you home. Sis, sorry, but could you phone the house in Okinomiya and have them send out a car? Maybe a van that we can fit a bike into, please. In contrast to Shion, who had glee written all over her face, Mion was an empty shell and looked like she could burst into tears at any moment. Oh, honey. Oh, Kei-chan. After that, Mion's grumblings were unrelenting. Okay, but you knew. Okay, that is dirty, girl. For you to know your sister more than likely has a crush on this one guy. So, you just come and try to swoop him in and play along with whatever the fuck he's saying. And are just like, so anyway. Anyway, I'm dating him now. And it's like, what? I never said I was going out with you. What the fuck are you doing? You're being manipulative and gaslighting. What the fuck? Damn, Shion. Anyway, let's look at some tips. What is this? It hasn't been a while. Oh yeah, because I think Mion said it's been a while since she's seen her sister. And now this is the evidence that it hasn't been. Stop saying it's been a while. We've seen each other every day up until yesterday, haven't we? Whatever. If you say so, we'll go with that. Someone from Shion's house came to get me in a station wagon. I had initially refused, but Shion insisted, and so both my bicycle and I ended up stuffed in the car. Said car was currently driving across the single bumpy road leading to Hinamizawa. For goodness sake, Shion was at Mion's level at least, or maybe an even better actor. Either way, no matter what questions I pressed her with, she'd slip out of them like an eel. Still, you two look so alike. If you tied your hair back like Mion does, would you look exactly like her? Who knows? It's probably what would happen. We're identical twins through and through. In the past, we could just change our clothes and no one would be the wiser. I remember we'd swap places at every opportunity and fooled a whole lot of people. The middle-aged driver wearing a black suit heaved a heavy sigh like he were a butler. What's wrong, Kasai? That was a pretty deep sigh. Excuse me. I was just thinking that you haven't changed. You could see many years of hardship on the man's face through the rearview mirror. Anyway, Kei-chan, your house was around here, right? Kasai doesn't know much about Hinamizawa aside from the road that goes to the Sonozaki main house. If you leave it to him, he'll take you all the way to Yagochi. Yagochi. I think it's Yagochi. Anyway, I don't want that. Excuse me, could you stop at the narrow road at the next right? I'll walk from there. He stops the car at the desired place. The driver, Kasai-san, got my bike out of the trunk for me. Sorry about that. Thank you very much for showing me home today. Yo, they actually gave him a model? Why so straight lines? He doesn't look real. I cannot get over how straight this man is with those my god. Anyway. Was it K-san? K-san? Your name, that is. Yes. You must have been having various difficulties, but I believe she will grow tired soon, so please endure things until then. He gave me a deep, deep look of sympathy. This guy has definitely been dealing with the Sonozaki sisters ever since they were little kids. However, like Mion-san, she's a kind person at heart. So that means she'll be as much of a bother as Mion, right? The man's face froze in a smile, his reply lost. Hey, back me up here.
Bye, Kei-chan. We'll see each other again soon. Say hi to my sister for me, too. Maybe I'll start going to Hinamizawa tomorrow?
Don't you dare! If you transferred in, I'll transfer out to a school in Okinomiya.
Wow, that was really mean, Kei-chan.
A short beep of the horn. The man gave a little wave to me from the driver's seat. Then the car withdrew into the dark night roads, leaving dust in its wake. Man, this entire day made no sense. I ran into Mion while I was with Shion, and the former's expression, like a pigeon shot with a pellet gun, had finally begun to make a strong impression on me. That is quite a metaphor, buddy. That's not really much of a tip. That's like an epilogue to the chapter. Anyway, let's go ahead and save progress so far, and again, I will try to go through one more chapter, and then I gotta wrap it up. Alright, let's just continue with the chaos. After I take a quick bite of noodles. Whew. Okay. Alright, the next day. It was a strange day, where Mion was desperate to regain her composure. Every time our eyes met, she would say that she had something to do, or that she had to use the washroom, and run off. Unable to just watch, Rena was taking care of her the entire time.
Mion-san, she's acting totally strange today.
I know the whole story, but it's hard to explain.
There are times when girls are emotionally unstable. It's best to just leave her alone.
Turning around, I saw Rena calling me from the hallway. I wondered what it was.
Keiichi-kun, over here! Over here!
What is it, calling me over like this? Is it a secret?
That is... It looks like it was a disaster. You totally fucked up!
Yeah...
Mii-chan seemed pretty broken, but I somehow got her working again.
I'm surprised you managed it. How did you exactly?
Same way I do with the television. Just come at it from a 45-degree angle and yeah!
Saying that, she made a chopping motion. You know, I can't tell if you're joking or not. Or you know I can't tell if you're joking or not, right?
She'll be fine by tomorrow. Also, there's something I want you to do, Keiichi-kun.
I didn't mean to do anything wrong, but I still feel guilty. I'm listening.
Thanks. You see, Mii-chan is just going to pretend the last few days never happened.
Never happened, huh? I see. Well, that's one way to run from it.
So, you see... Keiichi-kun, could you pretend too? Then Mii-chan can go back to normal.
Just doing something as simple as that. Is it really going to be okay?
Please, until Mii-chan gets her feelings in order, just go with it.
Okay, I got it. Even though I shouldn't have been at fault, for some reason, I felt guilty. the one at fault here was the one who knew about the entire situation and pretended to be Mion for an entire day. Shion. But she never once said that she was Mion. What am I supposed to be angry at? Seeing me stomping the ground impatiently, Rena giggled.
But Keiichi-kun, you knew as well that Michan had some cute things about her.
Rena talked in a calm voice as her hair rustled in the wind. Yeah. I know that she'll never let it be boring. Good. Following this curt reply, Rena looked up at the sky and stretched.
As long as you realize that, Keiichi-kun, these last few days will soon be nothing more than a story to laugh about. By the way, when the fuck is the festival that caused the chaos of Chapter 1? When's Sunday again?
It was Sunday, I believe, yeah? Anyway, copying Rena, I also began to stretch as I looked at the sky. The clear sky towered into the distance.
There's no club activities or anything today. I'm sorry, Keiichi-kun, but just for today, can you go home by yourself? It'll all be back to normal by tomorrow, so just for today, okay?
If all it took for everything to go back to normal was to leave Mion alone for today, then it was an easy decision to make. Got it. I can't say it directly to Mion, so I'll say it to you. I still feel kind of guilty about it, so I want to apologize.
No. The root of the problem was Keiichi-kun saying something insensitive, right? So, if you learned anything from this, you need to look a bit into gaining a sense of delicacy.
Right. I'll try. That day was the shortest day of my life. Rena was talking to Mion while accompanying her around the entire time. It looked like a really fun conversation, so I reflexively thought about joining in, but I had made a promise not to. It seemed that Mion was also trying her best to ignore me. So likewise, I did my best to ignore her. For the first time in a while, I ate lunch alone. Mion and Rena ate theirs by themselves. As I let out a sigh in my ashen mood, Rika-chan came over and patted me on the head.
Both Keiichi and me learned a whole lot.
I'd never say it like that. Made it sound like we were having romantic problems. I didn't like that one bit. Well, I mean, it might be. Hopefully the teacher wouldn't notice and call us to the staff room after school or something.
I'm sure that Keiichi will grow up to be a wonderful adult. Pat, pat.
Rika-chan is the studious type, so maybe you'll grow up to be an amazingly wonderful adult.
Of course. When I grow up, I'll be super amazing.
When I grow up, I'll be an amazing lady, you know. No matter how old you get, you'll still be a brat. You can put money on it. What did you say? As Satoko snapped her fingers, a wash basin fell from above, hitting me squarely in the head. Did she, set it up to... Damn, girl. Ow. What do you think you're doing, Satoko? Bang smash. Pinch squeeze. It was a day I could thoroughly appreciate the value of having friends. Bing bong. At home. Or I guess the next day, because we went from room to house to school. Ding. Ring-a-ling. Today was Saturday. Okay, that answers my question of when the festival's gonna be. Today was Saturday, so school ended in the blink of an eye. It really felt good to go home with the sun so high in the sky. On any other day, our club would have been up to mischief during our ample after-school time, but today Rika-chan had a rehearsal for tomorrow's Watanagashi to go to. How's that going, Rika-chan? Do you have it down in practice?
I'll try harder than last year.
You were so exhausted and sweaty after last year's ceremony. She'll look far more fit for the role this year. Please look forward to the fruits of her training. The Watanagashi festival everyone had been talking about was tomorrow, wasn't it? Gosh, that's when the chaos really rolls in. I'm excited. I can't believe I'm excited for trauma, but... when it's meant to be a horror game, or a horror novel. The festival being in June felt a little early to me, but the onset of summer came quickly this year, so it fit the image of a summer festival pretty well.
Okay, we'll be off then.
Look forward to tomorrow. A good day to you all. If this chapter is short as shit, then I am doing the festival chapter. I will do the next chapter hoping it's the festival. Anyway, so Toko and Rika-chan waved to us energetically, then left. You know, I never asked, where's the festival happening anyway? I don't remember there being anywhere around here that seemed suited for hosting one. They do it at the Furude Shrine. We went there for a walk one day, remember? It was that place with the really good view. Oh, right, I remember. There was a shrine all the way up on that hill, wasn't there? It seemed far too grand for Hinamizawa. There's a great meeting hall in the shrine, too. The older people get together there and sing karaoke or practice calligraphy from time to time. It's more like a recreational facility than a simple shrine. I see. I guess it makes sense that it looks so grand then.
Mii-chan, is your family going to help set up today?
Yep, we have male hands for that. Most of our relatives come from town to help. Male hands, huh? Well, I mean, I have nothing to do at home today, so would it be a problem if I squirmed my way in there to help out too? Huh? You want to help us, Kei-chan? Not if it'll bother you all. I was just kind of interested. We had bond dances and other festivals in the town I used to live in, but I didn't even know where they took place, much less wanted to help. You could say that I had absolutely no connection to the region. Having come to Hinamizawa, though, it really made me feel like this place was a home that I had returned to. Before I knew it, I harbored a little interest in the small community activity of preparing for a festival the day before.
I wonder if you'll be able to, Keiichi-kun. There's a lot of building tents and setting up chairs. I hear it's pretty hard physical labor.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing it alone, right? The more hands we have, the faster it'll go. Mion looked happy to hear that, but at the same time, her expression was complex, tinged with hesitation. Rena gave her the last push for me.
It's decided then. You should go for it, Keiichi-kun. He's all yours, Mii-chan. Put him through the ringer.
Well, I can't argue with a recommendation from Rena. Okay then, go home first, put on some work clothes, and come to the shrine. Oh, and you might want to bring a towel to wipe your sweat, too. Got it. I may look scrawny, but I actually quite like breaking a sweat under the hot sun. Careful you don't hurt your back, okay? Right, enough of my old man spiel. I'll go to the shrine too, as soon as I've changed.
Mii-chan, you do your best too. Bye-bye!
Mion waved vigorously to us and left. As far as I could tell from her gallant, retreating figure, she seemed to have recovered from the weak state she had yesterday.
Girls are quick to get over things.
I don't know about that, honey.
Mii-chan is already fine.
Right. Her switching back to normal so cleanly really makes it easy for me to talk to her.
It was kind of funny though, wasn't it? Kind of like Cinderella. Like, you can't meet her anymore once the magic wears off.
Rena began to giggle a fair bit in amusement. Did she like this sort of thing? Incidentally, me going along with it gave me a weird, hard-to-describe feeling. Did I turn myself into a plaything, or did they do it for me? If you think it's so funny, then you should try pretending to be a different Rena, too. Like, almost like chapter 1.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Keiichi-kun, what kind of Rena would you want to meet?
One with a bust size of at least 90. Huge knockers that you're okay with me. That's you fucking creep.
I can't do that.
She'd be great at cooking and make me lunch and come to see me in the mornings. Oh, wait, you already do that.
I do that already. I do that already.
I pull Rena's head into a tight grip, then start to pet it. You're Rena Ryugu, right? Rena, not Reina. Yeah, would you know that? So you just stay as Rena forever. Got it?
Thanks. Have fun helping set up the festival.
You got it. Let's meet up tomorrow. Man, the heavy reminders from chapter 1 got me like, ugh. I got changed right away, and, slinging a towel around my neck like Mion suggested, I set off for the shrine. Sorry, I spaced out for a minute. I don't know why. My brain just shut down for a second. Ah, boy. At the shrine, there were more people than you'd imagine even live in Hinamizawa there. All cordoning, yes. All cordoning off areas and setting up tent frameworks, chatting amongst themselves as they did so. Alright, where's Mion? The liveliness of the throng didn't make it easy to look for her. I searched around as if I already worked there, and suddenly, the principal called out to me. If it isn't my Barakun. Interesting. Have you come to help with the Watanagashi setup? Hello? Yes, I was just wondering if there's anything I could help with. How commendable your attitude is. Feel free to sweat to your heart's content. Spurred on by the principal, I came upon a group of people setting up tents. Oh, what's this? It's my Bara-chan. Did you come all this way to help us? I hadn't found Mion yet, so I supposed I'd just get in her way if I ran into her. Yeah, I'm here to help. Just tell me where you need me. You young ones have all the vitality. Here, grab some work gloves. Ever built a tent before? No, never. Oh dear. Delighting and teaching a new skill to someone younger. Never mind that. Take back that oh dear. Plenty of people happily taught me all sorts of things. Okay, kid. Okay, kid. Go inside the tent and tie up just the cords for the top. After that, we'll stand it up and tie the rest of them. Butterfly knots are okay, right? There and there. All done? We're standing it up. 1, 2, 3. What was once nothing more than a collapsed tent was raised on 4 splendid legs before my eyes in mere moments. Whoa. Seeing it put together like this is actually pretty moving. Come on, no time to stare and wonder. We've got a lot more to do. We packed the tents into the trucks, so go get them from there. They're heavy, so take someone with you. Nah, I'm good. I may look scrawny, but I'm actually pretty strong. Whoa! They look light enough, so I thought they were, but... Yeah, never mind. Someone help. That's why I told you to have someone help. Come on, said the man, lifting it up with a grunt and taking it away under his arm. Either I'm weak or these old guys have superhuman strength. Let's go. You're the youngest one here, so we're going to make you sweat for it. Do your best. Beer after work is the best. I'm a minor. But also, he said he's the oldest, which is he older than Shion, or? I'd have to double check that. But if that's the case, then Shion, whatever, definitely a minor in that awkward situation in the last chapter, or last segment. Anyway, sweat dripped from my body. I had been fully and completely absorbed in helping them. I would never have thought the cold barley tea from the Women's Society could taste this delicious. Sip. You're so young. Make sure you drink a lot. Thank you. It was then that I realized a crowd had formed near the shrine a ways off. Hello? When I took a closer look, I saw a girl dressed in shrine maiden garb and a handful of old men looking like they were preparing for the ceremony together. Is that Rika-chan? Hey, Rika-chan! Do you... do your best! Do your best! I shouted, and it seemed like she heard me. Rika-chan, positively exploding with vitality, answered with a smile. The older guys with me watched Rika-chan as well, with distant gazes. Rika-chan is doing a great job. I don't think I've seen that suffix before. Interesting. She seems far more used to this than she did last year. The old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looked like prayer beads in her hands and said, "Rika-sama, we thank you, we thank you." And just like that, began to respectfully pray to her. Huh? I just remembered that they called it the Furude Shrine. Wasn't Rika-chan's full name Rika Furude? The man standing next to me answered my question. That's right. Rika-chama's Furude clan is ancient and honorable, and has worshipped Oyashiro-sama for generations. Huh. I'd always gotten the feeling that she wasn't quite your average person, but it turned out she was from an esteemed family. Who knew? After her father, who was the shrine priest, died the year before last, she's really been doing her best to learn the rituals. I wish the priest could have been here to see how wonderfully she's grown up. What? Rika-chan's father passed away? And now we're talking about death! Let's go! I'm sorry! We're getting there. We're getting more tastes of the tension. Okay, break time is over. Right after I mentioned Rika's dad died. Let's get... Or someone mentioned it. I don't know if it was me or someone else. Anyway, moving on. Let's get the chairs we're not using back to the gym in Okinomiya. Maki-san, pull the truck around here and take a few people with you. Alright, my Barakun, let's get to work on one last job. Yeah, you're gonna make me do more work. I can't tell if they know I'm a minor or not, but the older men all cheer me on, encouraging me to do my best and that the beer will be great. Again, guys, I'm a minor. Legally can't drink. There she is. Kei-chan, working hard, I see. I passed by Mion. She was carrying a big cardboard box. It looked like she was right in the middle of working as well. Judging by the sweat seeping into her shirt, it seems I wasn't the only one with his hands full. Yeah, I'm working my ass off. You work hard too. The beer's gonna be great. We were worked to the bone until the sun began to set and it started cooling off. And fade to black, steal a noodle while it's fading. There we go. It was soon full-fledged night. That is not night, that is sunset. Anyway. That is evening. I guess. Anyway. And the clear sound of the Higurashi eased the moderate pain I felt. The older guys began their night before drinking party in a tent a fair bit off, causing quite a ruckus. The shrine grounds, on the other hand, had turned into a lonely road, tickled by the cool evening breeze, despite being so festive just a little while ago. The winds felt good. I leaned on one of the stone guardian dogs at the front of the shrine. I gave my legs a good stretch as I let my mind wander, and suddenly, a paper cup filled with barley tea was thrust before me. Kei-chan, great work! Here's some tea for you. I am assuming... Anyway, you're so considerate. Thanks, me... Her voice sounded exactly the same, but it felt somehow different. Wait, you're... Hi, Shion. Heya, it's Shion. Don't go giving Mion all the credit. She isn't considerate at all. Don't get us confused, okay? Shion, you little... now that I've caught you, you're not getting away.
It was your mistake, Kei-chan. I've never said I was anyone other than Shion.
And yet you played along with his narrative. You didn't... Well, I mean, you did correct him. Like... But you didn't... At a certain point, you just gave up and didn't... Anyway... You know, it's right. You really can't find a fault with her. Anyway. I guess I can't argue with that.
That's right. You're no match for my older sister, so I can't let you be a match for me either. Anyway, your tea. It's going to get warm. Come on, please cheer up. I'm trying to make it up to you with this tea.
I don't know if tea's gonna make it up, honey. Well, she did come all the way here to give it to me. Like maybe, what, 5 steps? I guess I'll accept it. I took the cup and downed it in one gulp. In other words, I needed it, because hydration important. Hydration check, everybody. And then suddenly... I heard... Ah? It wasn't a shout. It wasn't a sigh, it was a shout. I heard a loud shout, and it got stuck in my throat. Cough, cough, hack. Which one is it this time? Is it the real Mion?
Shion! Why are you hanging out with Kei-chan again? Because unlike you, I'm very considerate. Kei-chan was so sweaty, I couldn't leave him alone, so I brought him some tea.
It is actually just... Hell yeah, hydration check help.
By the way, why are you holding 2 cups of tea?
That's it. Yeah, okay. So I brought him some tea. By the way, why are you holding 2 cups of tea? Because she got some for him too, yeah. Jerk. Also, she probably didn't bring him any because she's also been working. What are you doing? I haven't seen you. Anyway. Mion's face went bright red, and she tried to hide the paper cups behind her back. I mean, you did just cough up your other tea, so this other cup that Mion brought will probably work. Well, this is... There's no way you, such a rough, timid, good sister of mine, would ever briskly bring a male classmate tea, is there? Girl, what are you doing?
So, what are they? What are those 2 cups of tea?
These are... Well, right. I was just so thirsty, I figured I'd drink 2. That is so obviously not the case.
That's so like you. Come on, chug, chug.
As Shion cheered at her, Mion downed both cups of tea, one after the other.
What a fabulous drink that was. I expected nothing less from you. Kei-chan, you give her a hand too.
Wait, suddenly this situation has gotten unbelievable. Mion doesn't usually get manipulated so easy like that, right? It is obvious manipulation, right? I've known for a while now, but Shion is terrifying. Mion, you can't hold your own against Shion? I hate her! And lately, I hate her even more! Just then, I wonder who this could be with camera. Just then, I heard the snap of a camera shutter. Good things always happen with cameraman and blonde lady. Good evening. The festival is coming up tomorrow. Thanks for all your hard work setting it up today.
Good evening. Oh, Shion-chan? It's quite unusual for you to come here.
Why, 'cause she don't work?
Oh hey, it's Tomitake and Takano-san. Good evening. It's been a while, hasn't it?
So, you're that transfer student I've been hearing about. Keiichi Maibara-kun, right? You really did a bang-up job today. I'm impressed. I feel like I've seen this photographer guy before. have we met before? Maybe in a parallel universe where you died? I'm glad you remembered. We've passed many times on the road, Keiichi-kun. I'm Tomatake. I'm a freelancing photographer from Tokyo.
Then, do you recognize me?
I'm sorry, but I don't.
She's Mio Takano-san.
We're getting more information on her!
Do you remember when you were at the doctor's office when you still had a cold, Kei-chan? Mio-san is one of the nurses who works there. Call me Takano. I'm pleased to meet you. Tell me when you're coming in for treatment. I'll prepare a huge needle for you.
Madam, please, no. That's very thoughtful of you.
Tomatake-san seemed to be quite entertained at the Sonozaki twins being in the same place, and he took picture after picture.
Now there will always be photographic evidence if they try it again.
I've heard about them, but this is the first time I've actually seen a pair of identical twins. You really do look exactly alike.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at what that caused in terms of problems.
We're not just alike on the outside.
See, our what? Girl, shut! Minor, stop! Our underwear matches, stop.
You idiot, what the heck are you doing?
Things have never been as lively as when the two of them are together. I thought they were exactly the same at first, but I've started to get a handle on which one is which. Mion is Mion, and Shion... well, she seems a far better actor than Mion was. In the first place, somebody that could spurn Mion so easily wouldn't have shown such weakness to those... hooligans at Angel Mort. If that was the case, then that cowardly behavior from that day was all a complete act.
They were even more alike when they were little. I heard even their parents had a hard time telling which was which.
That's really easy to imagine, actually. I totally understand what they must have gone through.
Takano gave me kind of an odd look, but explaining would have been a pain, so I didn't bother. Tomatake, are you going straight back to Tokyo after you get your pictures of the festival?
Yep, though I would rather just stay here forever. Silly adult things, that's all.
I hope your photos win a fabulous prize soon. I've been praying for it.
Thanks. Next time I come, I'll bring the pictures I took of you all today. Ah yes, this is in the day when you had to go and develop the film.
My Barkun, you did a lot of work today.
You must... excuse me.
You must be tired from all the physical labor you're not used to. I just called you unfit indirectly. Ha 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 ha.
Huh? Well, I'm tired, but it was still pretty fun.
Ah, youth. I'm so jealous. Takano-san smiled with an adult elegance that
no one in my circle of friends possessed.
The wind caught her hair. She gives off an intelligent beauty.
And this guy, man, all the things that make the ball roll are happening. Oh, why hello everyone. It seemed like our merry crowd was standing out. This time, an overweight older man addressed us. Sorry, I spaced out again. And again, it was someone I thought I knew. If I recall correctly, he's a policeman, isn't he? Yeah, he helped take in the ruffians.
Oh, Oishi-san. Good evening. Doing a preliminary security inspection for tomorrow?
Something like that. Oh, if it isn't Tomatake-kun. It's certainly been a while. Aw, you two knew each other? Oh, that makes chapter 1 even more depressing! I'm honored you remember my name. Never mind, maybe they weren't that close, he's just good at remembering people. You really do love Hinamizawa, don't you? The apartments around here are far cheaper than the ones in Tokyo. You should just move here and get it over with. I know a realtor I can introduce you to. I appreciate the thought. I'd very much like to follow up on that. No buts. Literally, I would love to follow up on that. No ifs, ands, or buts. Alright, everyone. Have a good year. And Happy New Year to the Sonozaki twins, too.
Happy New Year, Detective Oishi. We appreciate your work.
She just put on, like, straight-up service voice.
We'd like to end this year's festival with the least amount of inconvenience possible.
That's pretty strict on me. Detective Oishi left us with a low laugh and headed off to talk to some police officer standing a ways away. I gave Mion a glance and saw her making an annoyed face, as if she were glaring bullets at someone she hated.
Yeah, it'd be nice if the police didn't have anything to do during the...
Yeah, it'd be nice if the police didn't have anything to do during Watanagashi this year. Is that... Oh, are they gonna do the reveal? Oh. Is it happening? I think we're hitting it, boy. I think we're hitting it, chat. You like this place too, don't you?
Oh, you mean to say you dislike it, Jiro-san? I quite enjoy such fantastic stories, you know. Especially with the times being so dry and uninteresting.
Aren't things interesting when people die? The curse of Oyashiro-sama, you mean? Instead of a true crime lady, she is an occult lady, I guess. Curse. Tomatake-san used a troubling word. Then, suddenly, someone tugged on my arm. Kei-chan, I'm pretty hungry. Want to go to the tent with the drinks and have some candy and sweets? That's not going to fill you up, girl. I'm up for that. I've gotten a little hungry as well. Should probably get some proper food. But anyway. Okay, let's go. A moment later, Shion said something to Takano and Tomatake that stung my ears and gave me a start.
I wonder who will die and who will disappear this year.
I pulled back from Mion's grip and stopped abruptly. Like, wait, hold on, what did she just say? Shion, what did she just say? You could tell Mion was trying to get him away from that. It felt like the air around us dried out all of a sudden. Let's go, Kei-chan. They're talking about something silly anyway. You still haven't told Kei-chan? I make it a point not to spread stories like that. Shion's cold and quiet tone and Mion's harsh voice were quite the contrast. You know what? Maybe that is a good way to look at them. Is, the difference between cold and harsh. Anyway. Hey, wait, hold on. What are you talking about? If you know something, then tell me. It doesn't feel right being the only one left out, you know? It caused a whole problem in Chapter 1 that I don't even remember because, like, some weird wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey bullshit happened. I don't understand this. Someone explain it to me. However, Mion didn't seem to be at all willing to grant my request. She squeezed my hand in hers a bit, but when she realized I would hold my ground on this topic, she let go. I'm gonna go to the drinking tent first, then. If you don't come soon, Kei-chan, there won't be any left for you. I get it already. I'll be there soon. Guys, quick, give me the TLDR. She was holding my hand. Mion left, trotting towards a particularly noisy tent on the other side of the shrine grounds. Wait, don't go drinking! At least not the beer. Minor. Anyway. Before she got there, she stopped and turned back around. I showed no signs of going after her, though, so she ran off. I could tell you if you haven't heard, I suppose. But it might be smarter not to ask and go with her to eat dessert. Hey, now, you've already gotten my full attention here. I'm not gonna leave without asking at this point. I think Kei-chan has the right to hear this, too. My sister was just stealing that from you. Shion's voice was bristling with thorns, as if somehow blaming Mion. What on earth are you talking about? I don't really like people acting so self-important. Takano-san, realizing how prepared I was, looked across the group. After confirming that there were no objections, she opened her mouth. Do you believe in curses, my Barakun? Curses? I think they're interesting, but I don't really... I felt their cynical stares and winced. It was like they were telling me it was stranger not to believe in curses. You're not wrong, Kei-chan. Curses are just superstition. It's only natural that you wouldn't believe in them. Besides, you can take all the time you need to decide whether to believe in curses after you've heard us through, said Takano-san, giving a smile. They're trying to scare me. At least, that's what it feels like. Alright, I'll start. Keiichi-kun, do you know about the Hinamizawa Dam project? Oh yeah, the other day at Angel Mort, Mion, told me all about it. You mean the plan for the giant dam that would flood all of Hinamizawa, right? That's right. Residents of the town banded together to fight it, and a fierce battle with the government unfolded. I've heard that too. The entire village united, using all the power at their disposal, mass media, political influence, and other things, and fought the country. The way Mion described it made it sound like a boast. Oh, you know quite a bit about it. Yes, you're right. It's practically an epic tale, how just 1,000 or so villagers banded together and rejected the government's plans. Did you hear this from my sister? She likes those kinds of epics, you know? Yeah, she told me. There was, however, an office for the Hinamizawa residents' opposition faction. It was this shrine. You know the assembly hall? That's where it used to be. Okay, I will say, I was like, are they really going to, like, relay the curse, like, every chapter if we keep going through this, like, timey-wimey bullshit? Bullshit doesn't feel like the right word, but you get it. Like, are they gonna have to re-explain it every time there's, like, some sort of reset? And in a sense, they are, but they're also adding to it. Like, okay, instead of just repeating what you already know, let's add a bit more to it. So if this happens again, it'll probably be another case of, alright, add to it. So we're getting more details about it when we thought we understood it. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, let's see. Now that the whole thing is over, the senior citizens just use it for group activities. At the time, though, it was their last bastion. Takano-san explains this, pointing a finger towards the assembly hall. I had been carrying things in and out of there all day. I mean, I would understand if they put an office like that in the mayor's house or something. But having an office on shrine grounds made it feel kind of like a base camp for Sengoku period wars. Warriors, I think is what that was. Wait, hold on. Warriors, yes. I missed a syllable. That was basically the mindset, though. Placing the main force in the shrine dedicated to Oyashiro-sama, Hinamizawa's guardian deity, was like a prayer for victory. Oyashiro-sama. That was definitely it. They mentioned Oyashiro-sama's curse before. Is it the same Oyashiro-sama? Do you know about Oyashiro-sama, Keiichi-kun? It's the name of the god worshipped at this shrine. It's said that he protects all... He? I don't know why, I was picturing Oyashiro-sama as a she. Or I guess, you know, also as a deity, like, you know, beyond gender, but... So it's like they could be they, them, but... I don't know, I was picturing something more feminine for some reason. I don't know why. I genuinely know nothing about Oyashiro-sama, so who the hell knows? But here we have he. It said that he protects all of Hinamizawa. So even that is a little detail we didn't get before. Is a deity's perceived gender, I guess. Well, I don't really know much about him. I see. I think Takano-san knows more about the rest. Tag, you're it.
Well, that is generally the whole story. Oyashiro-sama is the ancient god passed down in Hinamizawa, and the villagers say he has been protecting this sanctuary from the poisons of the outside world.
Sounds more like a helicopter parent, or like a parent who shelters their child. But also, like, I will say, like, quick disclaimer, I'm not fully memorized, like, what all of the honorifics and, like, suffixes, like, sama and such mean. So if sama is a gendered, honorific, and I'm just not aware, and I've been gendering it with sama the whole time, that's on me. That's on me for being a fake weeb. Anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. Let's see. Okay.
And the villagers say he has been protecting this sanctuary from the poisons of the outside world.
So essentially, he's a basic, standard guardian deity. I guess you can find that sort of god anywhere you go. Ain't nothing special about him.
There's research into whether worshipping Oyashiro-sama is a manifestation of a kind of elitism, too. What I mean is that the worshippers might think of themselves as chosen people. Believing yourself chosen, a nationalistic belief that you are part of a superior race, or that you are a special clan chosen by the gods. Less, That first one, definitely, They believe that they're a superior clan, so they believe strongly in cooperating with others, but they also end up being exclusionary towards other clans. I won't go into too much detail, but it's the sort of national and religious ideas.
it's the sort of national and religious ideas that lead to war. Yeah, sounds about right. Of course, that goes for Japan, too. Feels like humanity in general.
A long time ago, the people of Hinamizawa strongly believed themselves different from humans, that they were above them. They believed that interaction with the lower world would sully their souls. So, everyone believed that if one from the lower worlds came to the village, they would be sullied and suffer the wrath of Oyashiro-sama. Apparently that kept everyone away.
Interesting. Another layer to the no outsiders thing. Interesting.
Yet they've all welcomed in Keiichi pretty well.
Huh. Anyway. Let's see. Villages that hate outsiders come up all the time in mystery novels. This was once a classic example of a xenophobic village. Calling it out. Good job.
Well, they'll deny it to preserve their pride. It was all a long time ago, after all. Things are different now.
Shion followed up quickly, having sense to the thorns in Tomitake-san's words. Hit those valid thorns. Tomitake-san, embarrassed at what he said, scratched at his head.
So this shrine worships Oyashiro-sama, thinks of Hinamizawa as holy ground, and it's a symbol of their traditional hatred of the outside world.
I get it. So that's why they chose the shrine of Hinamizawa's guardian spirit as their base of operations, to resist the sullied dam construction projects that came from the outside. Correct. Smiled Takano, pleased. I was gonna say, I didn't see anybody's mouth move. Who said that? She must dislike stupid people. Superstition, every last bit of it. The villagers gave everything, desperate to oppose the dam construction. And right in the midst of it, the incident drove home the finishing blow. Oyashiro-sama's curse. The person managing the construction site of the Hinamizawa Dam was murdered.
4 years ago, I believe. It took the newspapers by storm. Do you remember it?
No, not really.
He had a fight with a subordinate and was beaten to death with a pickaxe. His limbs and head were torn off and the remains disposed of.
One of those dismemberment homicides. They were all the rage at one point. Such a gruesome incident. But it was just that, an incident. A person caused the incident after all. Should they really put it down to the curse?
Then the following year, the man who had organized Hinamizawa's group of dam proponents, he fell from a cliff while on vacation and died. Apparently, it was an accident.
Of course, most of Hinamizawa was hostile towards him. The police were all over the case as if it were a homicide, but in the end, it was judged to have been an accident. Now it's an accident. This is the most curse-like one, but it's still far-fetched.
And then, on the next year, this time the priest of this shrine contracted an unknown illness and suddenly died.
Thinking back to, because it was officially spoken out loud that Rika-san's dad died.
This may sound a little rude, but the old priest was kind of a wait-and-see type. The whole village was in an uproar about the dam, but he just kind of didn't seem to want to bother. The shrine was the symbol of the opposition movement, and its priest, well, his attitude worked against him. The villagers at the time had hoped for a leader, but their hopes were betrayed. Some people were apparently pretty angry, too. So, at the time, all the older people were like, "This is Oyashiro-sama's curse." That's what they said. It did seem like every year, dam-related people the village had resentment toward were dying.
It was pretty creepy. Oh, and also, it's interesting. All of these incidents and accidents always happen on the night of the Watanagashi festival. What? You just gonna throw that out after he was prepping for the festival? He's like, oh yeah, and doesn't it always happen on that festival that everybody's like, just finished setting up for? Heh. See? Starting to sound like a curse now, isn't it? Then the year after that, in other words, last year, the sister-in-law of the man who was the leader of the dam proponents, the one who accidentally died, was discovered dead, having been beaten to death. Okay, hold on. Sister-in-law of the man who was the leader of the dam proponents, the one who accidentally died, like fell off the cliff, was discovered dead, having been beaten to death. That's not really a curse death. That's, but anyway. Of course, they caught that criminal. See? It really seems like a curse, huh? 4 years in a row. Each one of the incidents and accidents were relatively commonplace, but every single one of them happening on the night of the festival worshipping Oyashiro-sama? That's not normal.
The old folks have been blindly accepting Oyashiro-sama's curse because of the incidents these past few years. Even younger people, too. At first, they thought it was stupid, but now nobody makes fun of it.
Yeah, I can see where she's coming from. Even me. Even if I didn't think there was a curse at all, thinking about all the incidents like this makes me feel like maybe it's real. For example, just look at the preparations for the festival you were doing today. Everything might have gone crazy during the battle against the dam, but just a few years ago, the Watanagashi festival was never this well attended.
Well, I guess you're right. If we didn't have Oyashiro-sama to talk about, we wouldn't all be coming to a festival like this, huh? There's a lot of people who say that infidels might be punished, so they really need to go to Oyashiro-sama's festival.
Pardon? Shion nodded as if she were mocking herself. So, how about now? Keiichi-kun, you're starting to get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, the curse is real, aren't you? I mean, you can't just laugh off people related to the damn construction project all dying like that. If even I feel like this now, then the more superstitious members of the village must feel stronger than that. Well, I mean, I still don't think there's a curse. I can understand those that believe there is, though.
Wow, Kei-chan.
You can really keep a cool head about this. Shion grinned, realizing I had rejected the curse. If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then what should we make of these incidents? Takano-san said, smiling playfully as if posing a riddle. Neither a curse nor a coincidence. It's a serial traditional murderer? I don't know. But every year someone dies. There's also a bit that they forgot to mention about someone going missing. What should we make of that, then? Tomitake-san, catching on to the fact that I had no idea what to make of it, opened his mouth and came to my aid. Takano-san is suggesting that it might be the work of real people. Simple process of elimination would have gotten me there. I was a little taken aback at not having realized the answer immediately. Well, think about it. If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then people must be willingly carrying it out. It's the only explanation, right? Takano-san pressed on. I smiled bitterly in spite of myself. Here I was just a few minutes ago thinking the very concept of a curse was absolutely absurd. When she suggested it was someone's doing, I ended up thinking, there wasn't any way it could be a person. But Takano-san was right. It was either a curse or it was a person's doing. If unrealistic things like curses didn't exist, then the obvious next step would be to start thinking it was people behind it. But if that was the case... I glanced at Shion.
If the culprit is a person, then they'd have to be someone from Hinamizawa. That's what the police officer, Oishi-san, thinks right now, too.
Hey, wait. That can't be. I thought I now knew the reason Mion didn't want to talk about this. If Oyashiro-sama's curse really existed, then that's fine, I guess. It would be divine judgment for the damn project business. However, if Oyashiro-sama's curse didn't exist, which it obviously didn't, then the culprit would most likely be someone from Hinamizawa. The villagers had worked desperately to oppose the damn construction project. I knew they had used all sorts of methods to fight against it. If one of those methods was... maybe...
People whisper that Oyashiro-sama's curse could be the doing of a secret group in the damn resistance movement.
Shion dryly put words to my exact thoughts. Of course, I didn't expect it. She was from Hinamizawa, so I didn't think she'd come out and say it herself.
If you calm down and think about it, anyone would come to the same conclusion. There wouldn't be a motive for anyone but people who benefit from opposing the dam project, right?
I guess that's true. Admitting to the existence of a darker side of the damn conflict would be rude to Mion, who spoke of it so highly. So I couldn't just accept Shion's seemingly logical viewpoint.
One more thing. The police probably don't know this. There's proof that someone from Hinamizawa committed these crimes, and the people of Hinamizawa know about it.
What? Shion rebukes me to keep my voice down. Sorry, but this proof, what is it?
It's the fact that one person dies, and one more person disappears.
One more person disappears. Did that mean that someone besides the one who died from the curse was a sacrifice? What do you mean by disappear? They just vanish and you never see them again?
That's right. Suddenly and without a trace.
As she spoke, Shion pretended to do a trick with her hands, like she were making a magician's hat disappear. One dies a mysterious death, and one disappears, never to be seen again. A strange vanishing act. But then, why? How does that equate to someone from Hinamizawa being the culprit? Well, actually, Hinamizawa has this one really old legend. It's about how people offer sacrifices to Oyashiro-sama to calm his wrath. Sacrifices? Yes. They say they used to wrap a living person up in a bamboo mat and let them slowly sink down into a bottomless swamp. That is the first we're hearing of this, and that's freaky. I mean, not the bottomless swamp, but the whole wrap 'em up thing. Takano-san, though explaining something pretty terrible, has a look of glee on her face as she did so. As far as I can glean from the literature, it actually took 3 days and 3 nights for them to sink. They must have been dead by that point. See, even people a long time ago liked symbolism. As the body sunk, Oyashiro-sama's anger would be quelled. Both were submerged into the deep. Takano-san was the only one laughing at this. Was she telling a joke or something? Shion didn't move to deny it, but I felt a difference in temperature between her cool expression and Takano-san's. This whole conversation, well, I think you can imagine after hearing it, but it's the secret history of Hinamizawa. Everyone who has been in Hinamizawa for a long time knows it, but they don't talk about it. Takano-san's not from here, but she knows quite a lot. She really likes local history, folk legends, stuff like that. She learned about it all by herself, too. I'm really not all that amazing. Just curious, that's all. Like a child. I just want to see scary things for the fun of it. Tomatake-san laughed, a bit embarrassed. Wait a minute. What's that mean? The other person who disappears during the incidents. You're saying they're offered as a sacrifice? Yeah. Shion answers in one word before anyone else can speak. Someone dies, then someone disappears. Well, whether they actually get sacrificed or not is a different issue. But every time something happened in the past, one person died and one other person disappeared. For example, the first one, where the dam site manager was killed. Apparently one of the people responsible for that still hasn't been arrested. Could it be that... Couldn't that just mean he managed to get away? I don't see why we should treat him as a sacrifice. Well, that's basically what I think, too. It was also the year after that, with the leader of the dam proponents. You said he fell from a cliff and died while on vacation, right? Apparently his wife fell as well. The police investigated fervently, but they were never able to find the wife's corpse. The river under the cliff was actually pretty high at the time, though. She could have just been buried under the sand at the bottom of some lake downstream or something. The perpetrator of a dismemberment like that wouldn't want to be caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide too. I thought I'd heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface after the person drowned in a swelled river like that. She vanished because of an unfortunate accident, but I still didn't see the connection to sacrifices. If you took each of the past incidents in turn, none of the disappearances evoked that terrifying of an image. The year after that, with the priest suddenly falling ill and dying, is much clearer. His wife left a suicide note.
They found it in their house the night the priest died. It said something along the lines of her quelling Oyashiro-sama's wrath through her death. The curse seems to turn up in this one, though. Well, we may never know the truth of the matter. The swamp the wife drowned herself in was the giant bottomless one Takano mentioned before. The police investigated it, but all they could find were several of her possessions. They never found the corpse. The police suspected it was a faked suicide, and they're still investigating it now. Someone dies every year, and in the same way, someone goes missing every year. Is she trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means and dumped into the bottomless swamp, still alive and drowned to death? But a curse? That's unbelievable in its own right. And the next year, what was it? The dam proponent's sister-in-law? She was killed. So, at that time, someone else vanished? Someone did disappear. It was a boy around my age named Satoshi Hojo. He's the nephew by marriage of the woman killed. Shion cut in with a slightly strong tone of voice. She knew the boy who had disappeared pretty well. At least, that's the vibe I was getting. Well, that about sums everything up. One person always dies, and one person always suddenly disappears. Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact was that each incident involved one person disappearing. Also, I am surprised that Keiichi is not putting together I don't think he put it together before, and he's not putting it together now. Hojo, that's the family name of Satoko. Ah. Anyway, eventually he'll realize it. So that means the first person who dies is because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, and the second person who vanishes is because the villagers sacrifice them? Is that it? Kei-chan, there is no curse. Somebody kills the first person under the guise of the curse, and someone takes away the second person to be a sacrifice. But, Shion, that means the criminal is in the village. That's what I've been guessing from the start. It's pretty shocking, though, you know? We live in the Showa period. Yeah, it would be Showa. Yeah, okay. It's kinda hard to believe people are committing murder like it's nothing, using some ancient justifications, huh? It didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I got the feeling that maybe Shion didn't like Hinamizawa very much. Mion enjoyed talking about Hinamizawa and its epic tales. So she had avoided talking about Oyashiro-sama's curse, which didn't paint Hinamizawa in a good light no matter how you looked at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. Shion, on the other hand, was somehow different. She wasn't rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Hinamizawa of this bad impression, but rather because she strongly believed that a member of the village was the criminal behind this. Her conviction seemed a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the people of Hinamizawa. Once upon a time, they looked so alike you could mistake one for the other. But talking to her now, I was getting a powerful feeling that Shion had a completely different personality than Mion. Than everyone else. They all think someone from Hinamizawa did it, right? Neither Shion nor Takano-san answered that. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said. And let me ask another question. If someone from Hinamizawa is the culprit, then who is it? Neither Shion nor Takano-san had a reply to that question either. Though it may have been rude to ask, I had hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason I asked was to argue that their explanation that the culprit was from Hinamizawa was nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan. She gave me a pained smile at my petty spite and opened her mouth to speak. all I said really just amounts to circumstantial evidence anyway. If any of us knew who it really was, we'd have gotten them into police hands already.
As would anybody. Then, what about Takano-san? She too smiled dryly as Shion had... She too smiled dryly as Shion had, and opened her own mouth. Speaking of opening mouths, I am going to take a sip. Hydration check. Also, this chapter is taking longer than I thought, so when I'm done with this chapter, because it's of exposition, when I'm done with this chapter, I am gonna have to call it. Just saying. Okay, continuing. What does Takano have to say?
Well, I'd like to clear one thing up. I'm not a detective or anything, alright? In all honesty, I'm not really interested in who the culprit is.
Takano-san, you sure are a handful. Tomitake-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter.
You see, I just like cruel and atrocious ancient traditions and fairy tales. I am such a fan of the Brothers Grimm and, like, you know, like maybe Hans Christian Andersen stories, you know, like the really depressing ones. Anyway, Little Match Girl? Hell yeah. Anyway, I enjoy them from a curious onlooker's perspective.
It's called morbid curiosity, honey. There's a term for it.
So even for this string of incidents, it's not so much finding out who the culprit is, but enjoying thinking about how the old traditions displayed by the incidents themselves still seems to have some pretty deep roots around here.
Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, her smile was as sharp as the tip of a blade. Women like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend.
Well, I don't think any of this is interesting at all. The Watanagashi festival is coming up tomorrow, but I don't want anyone to die or disappear.
Tomorrow, huh? That's right. And I completely slipped my mind. This string of murder incidents people attributed to Oyashiro-sama's curse. It wasn't over. If last year's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night at the festival... would someone die? And someone disappear?
I do wonder who will die tomorrow and who will disappear, though.
Takano-san said, running a comb through her hair with elegant movements, with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the incidents that could happen tomorrow. Then, out of the blue, we heard a loud round of applause. They seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right, I was making Mion wait this whole time, wasn't I? I should go back to her soon. You're teasing the kid too much, Takano-san. And now Keiichi-kun thinks it's all true.
I apologize. It's that bad habit of mine again,
said Takano-san, sticking out her tongue bashfully. The strangeness in her expression was nowhere to be found. When Takano-san sees an innocent child like you, she can't help wanting to poke fun at them. It's a real bad habit. Keiichi-kun, you listened to everything so earnestly that she ended up getting carried away. Unlike Takano-san, Tomitake-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they'd given me. The stuff Takano-san just said is all fiction. If it made you harbor any bad impressions about Hinamizawa, then we apologize for that.
Jeez, Jiro-san.
You apologize too, Takano-san. Tell them you're sorry for scaring him. Takano-san and Tomitake-san were arguing and messing around now. The strained air around us had already dissipated.
Kei-chan, you should get going soon too. Mion is the jealous type.
Sorry, it did not want to scroll for some reason. If she sees me, she'll probably start a fight, so I'll just be going home. Really? Then I'll go see what Mion's doing and apologize for making her wait, I guess. She's probably getting some snacks. Sorry for being such a nuisance, Keiichi-kun. Could you tell Mion that we're sorry for bothering you for so long? Yeah. I don't think telling her will make her feel any better, but sure. So that counts. Tomitake-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle.
Okay then, Kei-chan. Let's try and run into each other at tomorrow's festival. Hopefully by then my sister won't want to beat me up.
We'll see each other. I mean, it's us we're talking about after all. We'll be making so much trouble it'll be hard for you not to find us. Right. Shion and I said our goodbyes to Tomitake-san and Takano-san. Before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us. Hey, don't go dying tomorrow.
Thanks for listening so earnestly to what I had to say. You're just so good at listening. I had a great time talking to you.
Good at listening? No, not at all. In one ear out the other, as they say. I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shocking topics being thrown at me one after another.
Did you like my story today?
Well, it was pretty interesting.
Then I'll tell you some more sometime, okay? There's a lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about Hinamizawa. I have way more exposition to give you later. Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones, too. I'll choose a bunch of my favorites and tell you about them.
I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. I can't help but smile dryly and scratch at my head. Keiichi-kun, you can go now. Takano-san is just messing with you. Again. Girl, why do you always gotta mess with kids? They say goodbye again and run off. I heard Tomitake-san call out behind him in a clear voice that we would see each other at the festival tomorrow. When I went to the tent Mion was waiting for me in, she was nowhere to be found. I made her wait so long. Maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I heard that she went home talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. But my regret for having made Mion wait wasn't enough to triumph over the impression Takano-san and Shion's uncanny story left on me. Serial murder incidents had happened 4 years in a row. Would tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Hinamizawa was carrying this all out under the guise of the curse. The queer tradition of ritual sacrifice, entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we lived in. I mean, I'm sure certain groups of people would love us queer folks to do ritual sacrifice so they could actually peg something on us, but... anyway. I regretted it a little, though it was too late. If none of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, then I should have let Mion pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. Try calling her. Call her! You have her number, right? Go call her! Call her and be like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I left you waiting for so long. Let me make it up to you tomorrow or something. I don't know. Call her. Call her, boy! Oh my god, that's a lot of tips. Okay. So, it is now about 2:30 in the morning. Help set up for the festival with a little elbow grease. How nice. But it is about 2:30. It is close to 2:30 in the morning, and I am feeling my throat give out on me. So, I say we look at all the new tips. Well, first, yes, look at the tips, and then we save. And then I'm gonna call it. Alright. The notebooks are all different colors, and the festival's around. Okay, so let's see. Scrapbook 1, 2, 3. All different colors, except for when they're open. Fascinating. And then festival's around the corner. Alright, so let's start with number 1. Let's see what we got. Oyashiro-sama's curse. In the ancient Onigafuchi village, the anger of Oyashiro-sama, his curse, was feared above all. However, it is seldom stated anywhere what eventually happens, and what sort of divine judgment, curse, befalls them when Oyashiro-sama is angry. From various reports, all hell will break loose. Demons will come flooding out. The miasma from hell will flood outward and kill every villager, letting not a single one escape. The ones evoking images of the village being annihilated stand out the most. These terrifying ideas of divine punishment are in alignment with many other religious beliefs regarding the apocalypse, aka hell, and it's easy to imagine that they are just ways of convincing people to obey the teachings in order to prevent such an end. The conditions for inciting Oyashiro-sama's wrath are likely the same as the taboos in Onigafuchi village. I believe that when an act was performed that violates one of these taboos, Oyashiro-sama was termed angry. Real quick, I want to check something. No, okay, I didn't need to go that far. Okay, yeah, sorry. Let's see. His curse, hell. I was wondering if the parentheses words were just like, further emphasizing what was just said, or if they, were secretly spelling something out. I don't know. I don't know if this would go that deep. Anyway, I believe that when an act was performed that violates one of these taboos, Oyashiro-sama was termed angry. In order to quell his anger, they would perform the aforementioned sacrifice ritual. Interesting. Okay. So it's like, what? Kill the outsider and then... Hold on, was there something at the end there that I missed? Hold up. For a second, I thought I saw something in my periph. Give me a moment. I'm just scrolling fast. Or was it just fading out? I just want to be double sure. Yeah, no, I was crazy. Okay. Okay, so now from scrapbook number 2. Alright, basically, so it's like we kill the outsider, and then just to further calm you down, we sacrifice. Alright, let's see. The human sacrifice ritual. The sacrificial ritual was a simple drowning, involving plunging sacrifices into Onigafuchi swamp, which was considered hallowed. Of the rituals of Onigafuchi village, this one was unique in that the sacrifice would sink slowly over the long course of 3 days and 3 nights. I believe that it wasn't so much the killing of the sacrifice that was important, but rather the symbolism of them sinking as the submerging of Oyashiro-sama's anger. For that purpose, they must have had a passion for learning various methods for keeping the sacrifice from sinking too quickly, to force them to sink more slowly. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell from the records, those methods were not recorded. My thoughts are that they may have used logs or some similar material to create a raft, then set up a scaffold on there, hung up the sacrifice with ropes, and let them sink little by little over time into the swamp. However, if that were the case, it would not be strange if the ritual implements used for such a ceremony were honored as holy and enshrined somewhere. True. It's like there's no evidence of any such materials being found. Yeah. Alright, and now scrapbook number 3. Let's see. Implements used for the ritual. Hello, Higurashi. Ritual tools utilized for ancient religious ceremonies are commonly referred to as implements, or ritual implements, and even now, some of them are enshrined on the property of Furude Shrine and the 3 families. 3 families? However, the identifiable tools are all decorative, and none appear to have been used in rituals governing the dark side of Onigafuchi village.
As the Edo era came to a close and many traditional rituals were lost, were they lost as well? Or perhaps buried in the darkness? I don't believe so. Both the implements used on the night of the feast of Onikakushi and those used during the sacrificial ceremony must still exist, enshrined away from the eyes of the masses. Without a doubt, they exist here, today, at this very moment, in Hinamizawa. Also, I'm nearly certain where they've been enshrined. What was once locked steadfastly has, for some reason, changed this year to a cheap-looking padlock. What was once locked steadfastly has, for some reason, changed this year to a cheap-looking padlock. Symbolically or literally? He may be able to do something about such a lock. However, it is not far from the assembly hall, nor is it ever far from the presence of people. However, I will not give up. I was like, whose notebooks are we reading? Is it Takano? The night when it becomes a blind spot to every villager in Hinamizawa is coming soon. Soon, it will be Watanagashi. Yeah, all eyes on the festival, all eyes away from whatever you're trying to get into. Whose scrapbooks are these? And these aren't, like, who wrote these? What is going on? Oh, no. And now, festival's around the corner. Rabble, rabble, rabble. Hey, are you worn out already? Tomorrow's the real thing. We're gonna be partying until morning, until the very end of it all. Got it? Got it. I'll give it everything I've got. Alright then, youth is the greatest. Good work, everyone. Tomorrow's Watanagashi at last. Let's get some shut-eye and save our energy for tomorrow night. Tomorrow was finally Watanagashi. Festivals are split into two groups. Those who enjoy them and those who support them. The former only need prepare their minds, but the latter needs not only that, but also painstakingly crafted plans and preliminary arrangements. While the general majority attending goes about enjoying the festival without a care in the world, will be strained the whole way through. Why? You sure as hell know why. Because the beer after everything's over is the best damn beer you'll ever have. Wahaha! At times like these, it's best to have energetic, physically fit people. It wouldn't be worth it if you didn't do your best until the end, enjoying it the whole way. Oh, he's here. Oishi-san came in. I wondered if this would be tied to him somehow. Everyone hurried to stand up. Hello, everyone. Excellent work out there. You can be at ease. Thank you, sir. Not even my seniors, who usually talk big about themselves, can hold a candle to Oishi-san. We all bow as if we were one of those cheering squads of old. Kuraudo Oishi. Yeah, sorry, Kuraudo. That is gonna be a tongue twister to say. Kuraudo Oishi. A detective just waiting to retire. One who doesn't pay much mind to rules and regulations, and doesn't do too much in the way of real work. He looks like a rotten old man with a penchant for dirty jokes. My seniors, though, tell me he was a real fighter in his younger days, and that he may or may not have quite a heroic legend trailing behind him. Anyway, he surely had much more dignity and presence in the room than the section chief who came in with him. Everyone, I really, really thank you for your hard work on the preparations for the festival tomorrow. Everyone present stands upright and lends their ear to the chief's directions. We're on heavy alert for any thrill-seeking criminals expecting another incident like last year. I need all of you to focus your energy as much as possible in your mission to prevent any crimes from happening. Yes, sir! Of course, it would be best if nothing happens. However, everyone, please assume that an incident will, in fact, occur. Prevention is number one, but it probably won't be enough. This year, too, someone will die, and someone will disappear.
There's really no doubt about it. Oh my god, dude. Everyone apart from the section chief smiled painfully. Oishi-san, that won't do. We need to be more serious about this. The important part isn't to get past the night of the festival. It's to be able to quickly, swiftly, and aggressively pursue whatever does happen tomorrow night. At least go in with that mindset. I won't tolerate anything less than your best. Clench those cheeks. We're gonna rip all the skin off the ghost of Oyashiro-sama's curse. Yeah! Oh my god, is Oishi-san the one that's gonna die this time? Is it gonna be a different death? It's either gonna be fated that Tomitake-san is the one who has to die every year, or it's gonna switch up every year, and this year it's gonna be Oishi-san, which would suck! I like Oishi! Alright, but yep, I am feeling it in my throat. I need to save and close stream. Yes. We made it to the end of chapter 6, baby! And next chapter will be Watanagashi. Let's go! Oh my gosh. Hydrate. Hydrate before you dihydrate.